Shell fan 6 and walked 2. Reliever Von Sturzbach registered his 20th save. He threw a scoreless ninth. Sixer Miguel Martinez, on a high note, made his first appearance in nearly a month and struck out the side in the ninth. That was his only inning of work. The 66ers have tied their longest losing streak of the year at 5 and have dropped 6 of their last 7. The offense has been very suspect, having scored just 1 run in their last 26 times at bat. Nevertheless, 66ers still with a very respectable record of 70-58 and hopefully still playoff bound. They're 31-27 in the second half. Rancho Cucamonga at 500 right now. They're at 64-64 overall. 31-27 in the second half of play. As starters tonight, it'll be Rhett Johnson going for the 66ers. 0-1 with an ERA of 3 even. Going up against lefty Daniel Davidson, much like his predecessor yesterday, Stephen Shell. Davidson has 11 wins. He's 11-6 with an ERA of 4.56, and the 66ers are very familiar with Davidson this year, having faced him already 4 times this season. The 66ers, coincidentally, won 3 of those games. Maybe looking up, hopefully, for the 66ers. Can't be looking any further down right now. Inland Empire just hasn't played well since that brawl with High Desert last Monday. Well, we'll be back with more of the pregame show in a moment. We'll take a look at the starting lineups and a closer inspection of tonight's starting pitchers. That's coming up next.
Quitting smoking isn't easy. It takes the average smoker several attempts to be successful. Quitting with the right support can make all the difference. With the support of products like Nicorette Gum, Nicoderm CQ Patch, and Commit Lozenge, you have a better chance of success. Nicorette, Nicoderm CQ, and Commit are safe, effective, and FDA approved to help you fight cravings, irritability, and restlessness while you quit. They've helped millions of Americans quit. You can too. Use as directed. Follow dosing schedule. Individual results may vary. Support program improves chances of success.
I'm Kai Rizdal. This week on Sound Money, at colleges around the country, fall semester is just beginning, but one student's already earned an A in economics.
I put together sort of slipshod sign that says grad student discos for dollars.
A different kind of work-study program?
He's good. He actually can move.
This week on Sound Money, the money show for the rest of us.
Tune in Sunday at 12 noon on KV Cigars, San Bernardino.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, we continue our visit to Charlotte, North Carolina. Another great hour of history and discovery.
I've only seen 2 or 3 original RB11 5-strings in my life.
No.
Wow.
I cannot believe it. Oh, my gosh.
That's Antiques Roadshow, right here on this public television station.
Friday night at 8 on KV Cigar TV, Channel 24.
The 66ers and the Quakes ready to do battle once again. This is the finale of a mini 2-game series here in San Bernardino. These 2 teams will square off once again on the final weekend of the regular season, a 4-game set here again at Arrowhead Credit Union Park. The starting lineup for Bobby Meacham's Rancho Cucamonga Quakes looks like this. Leading off and playing shortstop will be Erick Aybar. Batting second, the center fielder Reggie Willits. Carlos Duncan out in right field. He'll hit third. Troy Glaus, another rehab stint tonight, expected to play all 9 innings again. He'll be the designated hitter and bat fourth. Mike Napoli serving as the first baseman. He'll hit fifth in the order. Ryan Budde, the catcher, bats sixth. David Gates on the left hits seventh in the order. Adam Paskovich, the third baseman, batting out of the 8th hole. And hitting ninth for Rancho Cucamonga will be their second baseman, B.J. Weed. The starting pitcher tonight for Rancho Cucamonga is lefty Daniel Davidson. Meanwhile, for Darren Brown, 66ers, Gary Harris will be leading off and playing center field. Juan Gonzalez hitting second. He'll be at second base. Jesus Guzman in the 3-hole will start at third. John Nelson playing left field and hitting cleanup. Carlos Arroyo, the right fielder, that's out of the 5-hole. Matt Hagan follows him at number 6. He'll be at first base. Matt Rogelstedt serving as a designated hitter tonight. He'll hit seventh in the order. Michael Garcia-Parr, the shortstop, bats eighth. And batting ninth and catching, making his first professional start above rookie level, will be the newly acquired Gregory Slee, who joined the 66ers from Peoria back on Saturday. Best of luck to Gregory tonight. Starting pitcher on the hill tonight for the 66ers will be Rhett Johnson with a mark of 0-1 and an ERA of 3.00. 66ers looking to get off this 5-game losing streak for them. That ties a season high. Right now they are tied with Rancho Cucamonga in the second half standings, each team at 31 and 27, but the 66ers still lead the wild card race by 6 games. We're going to take one final break. We'll be back with the first pitch in just a moment. The 66ers take on the Quakes. It's coming up next.
As California continues to grow, so does the important underground infrastructure. Just about anywhere you dig, there could be an underground facility lying in wait. How do you avoid hitting them? The easy way, the legal way, is Dig Alert. It's the one-call notification center that supports all of Southern California. It's a simple process to help and avoid the costly errors of cutting fiber optic cables to the hazard of damaging power lines or gas pipes. For more information before you dig, 1-800-227-2600.
Are you serious about your career? ITT Technical Institute in San Bernardino offers technology and business education for today's workplace with associate and bachelor's degrees in 4 schools of study. ITT Tech has many different class schedules with hands-on learning and applied knowledge. Financial aid is also available for those who qualify. ITT Tech in San Bernardino is located on Briar Drive. More information on your new career is at 800-888-3801. ITT Tech and education for the future.
When you're choosing a mechanic, you have to watch out for those guys who are living large. Does he wear boat shoes around the shop? Because you have to be careful of anyone who's wearing boat shoes to work.
Yeah, he tells us to call him Captain. I don't know why.
We're the guys to turn to for well-reasoned car advice.
I should be able to answer any question without even thinking about it.
You usually do.
We're Quick and Collect, the Tappet Brothers. Join us for Car Talk.
Saturday morning at 9 and Sunday morning at 11 on KVCR San Bernardino. A recent survey showed more people in San Bernardino County prefer the SBC Smart Yellow Pages. For shopping information, SBC Smart Yellow Pages is the most used Yellow Pages around. The SBC Smart Yellow Pages.
Welcome back with us here in San Bernardino. The 66ers and the Quakes preparing to go at it one last time this week, and then they'll hook up again the final weekend of the regular season for a 4-game set. Who knows? Could need a playoff spot for either team in the end. Hopefully it doesn't come down to that for the 66ers. Red Johnson will get the ball from Darren Brown tonight, the right-hander, still rehabbing from some mechanical problems he suffered through last year. Red has started 4 games for the 66ers, had his longest outing on Friday at Modesto. He wound up taking the loss, won 4 innings, gave up 3 earned runs on 6 hits, striking out 3 while walking 2 A's. Overall, a mark of 0-1 with an ERA of 3 even. Red has worked just 9 innings in his 4 starts. He only went 1 inning in each of his first 2 appearances. 66ers have been trying to stretch him out. 3 earned runs total, 5 walks, 8 strikeouts. He has not surrendered a home run yet. 9 hits in 9 innings even. Well, he's got to be a stopper tonight for the 66ers. Somebody's got to stop the bleeding right now, get the tourniquet. The 66ers have tied their longest losing streak of the season. They had done it twice before, 5-gamers. They did it June 1st through June 5th, and again July 13th through the 18th. They're in danger of setting a new season high in a category that you want to stay away from as much as possible. This will be the 23rd of 27 meetings between these two teams this season. All the remaining games are right here in San Bernardino. 66ers trail the season series 13-9. In fact, Rancho has won 10 of the last 14 and 6 of the last 8. The 66ers against Rancho are just 2-6 here at home this year. They've actually played much better at the Epicenter. They're 7-7 here in this 2004 campaign. We're about set to go. Erick Aybar, the switch hitter, will lead things off, followed by another switchy, Reggie Willits, and then it's Carlos Duncan. Troy Glaus hitting 4th in the order tonight. Aybar, a .331 hitter. He had a single, a double, a walk, and a strikeout last night. He stands in from the left side. Once again, a lovely day here in San Bernardino. Johnson delivers right down the middle for a called strike, 0-1. We'll set the defense for you for Inland Empire. Gregory Slee gets his first start behind the plate. First baseman Matt Hagan. At second, it's Juan Gonzalez. The 0-1 hit toward the right side at Gonzalez on 3 hops. He gets his glove down on it and throws to first to get the speedy Aybar. 4-3 ground out. That's 1 down here in the first. Playing shortstop tonight is Michael Garcia-Parr and the third baseman Jesus Guzman. Outfield from left to right, John Nelson, Gary Harris, and Carlos Arroyo. Reggie Willits the next one up. He had an RBI and 2 hits last night. He also got hit by a pitch. Reggie also hit from the left side. Well, it's a 286 hitter. He's got some speed, though, 43 steals this year. And it's benefited opponents greatly to keep them off the base paths. Johnson deals outside, 1-0. The temperatures have cooled here in the city the last couple of days. Into the 80s or so. It had been in the 90s or a few days in the hundreds for the longest time. The 1-0 missed outside, 2 balls and no strikes. This is enjoyable. I'm a cold weather guy. Tend to sweat when I take my car keys out of my pocket, so this has been nice. Refreshing change. The wind is blowing gently from left to right. The 2-0 swung on by Willits, popped up near the 66er bullpen. Guzman giving chase, but it's into the third row of seats. Count moves to 2-1 on Willits. 66ers dropped the ball game yesterday, 4-1. Lost 3 in a row to Modesto over the weekend. Also dropped the series finale against Bakersfield back on Thursday. Sixers have been in a rut. Johnson will work from the middle of the rubber. Looking into sleep for the signs. Here's a windup and the 2-1 to Willits. Swung on and missed. Nice movement on the pitch from Johnson. 2-2 the count. Couple of roster moves to let you know about for the 66ers. We got word last night after we went off the air that outfielder Josh Ellison was shipped off to Tacoma. He left late last night, I believe. The 2-2 on the way. Fouled out of play. If not, then it was a very early flight this morning. In either case, we're unsure how long Josh will be gone for. He went to fill in a vacated roster spot for the Rainiers in AAA. While one part of me roots for Josh to stay up there because he's played so well and has been such a competitor this year. Johnson misses outside, 3-2. Guess the selfish part of me wants Josh back here for the stretch run. So we'll see how it pans out. The 66ers did not fill his roster spot today. That could change tomorrow and probably will. The 3-2 floated into shallow left field. John Nelson coming on, just waiting for it, and he'll make the catch. 2 outs here in the first. Carlos Duncan will be the next one up. Carlos, a .308 hitter this season. The 66ers saw him the last series they played. He did not get into the ball game yesterday. Duncan, 9 RBIs, 2 home runs in his 52 games with the Quakes. He's also played low A ball this year as well. Rhett delivers, the big right-hander. Deals low, and the count 1-0 to Duncan. Troy Glaus waiting on deck. He's still got that red Angels helmet with no logo on it. Number 41 on his back, no nameplate. The 1-0 from Red. Swung on and missed, dropped by Slee. Actually, it was a foul tip. 1 ball and 1 strike. We learned today as well that shortstop Eric Monzon will be out for much longer than we and the medical staff had initially anticipated. After he sprained his knee this past weekend at Modesto, he was originally diagnosed with a sprained MCL and was expected to be back maybe today, if not on Friday, for the opener with San Jose. That ball launched out of play down the left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Duncan. But the team doc saw Eric this morning, and it's a whole lot worse than it initially appeared to be, and Eric is going to miss several weeks here. Could miss the rest of the regular season. The 1-2 coming in, a little bit inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes up on the hands. Johnson wants a new tablet, and he'll get one from the home plate umpire. Home plate arbiter tonight is David Rackley, and on the base pass is Will Robinson. Eric will be placed on the DL probably Friday morning. 2-2 swung on, line drive into left field, falling fast. John Nelson misplayed it, and it hit off of his glove. Heading for second is Duncan, and he'll get in there standing up. That'll be a 2-base error on John Nelson. He was there in plenty of time, even though it was coming down fast. He got his glove about waist high, and it just hit off the side of his glove and rolled behind him. For whatever reason, especially in the twilight hours, it's been especially tough this year for John Nelson in left. not just on low-hanging line drives, but on fly balls. Right around the starts of ball games in the first, second, even up until the third inning, Jon has trouble picking up the ball out there. Well, you didn't want to put a guy on because Troy Glaus is now coming up, and he won the ball game for the Quakes yesterday with a 3-run home run. Swing and a miss on the first offering, the count 0-1. Taking nothing away from Thomas Oldham because he is sure to be a quality pitcher in the future. But Rhett Johnson has been pretty close to the big leagues, so Glaus should face some stiffer competition here. The 0-1 low, 1 ball and 1 strike, and in fact, Oldham got the better of Glaus in the first two matchups last night. A fly out and a strikeout. But Oldham elected to go with a fastball the third time against Glaus. Still waiting for that baseball to come back. Johnson takes a peek back at second, now the 1-1. Fly ball into right center field. Carlos Arroyo underneath, still going back. A few steps in front of the track, and that'll be the final out of the inning as he squeezes it with 2 hands. For the Quakes here in the first, no runs, no hits, an error, and a man left in scoring position. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Quakes nothing, and the Sixers coming back.
Toyota of Redlands is pleased to once again be partnering with the California League champion 66ers. Located at 1139 West Redlands Boulevard, Toyota of Redlands has a line of new 2004 Toyota cars and trucks, as well as certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Toyota of Redlands is part of the local community just like you and believes in personal relationships, and they're open 7 days a week. More information is at 793-0300 or on the web at toyotaofredlands.com.
Are you serious about your career? ITT Technical Institute in San Bernardino offers technology and business education for today's workplace with associate and bachelor's degrees in 4 schools of study. ITT Tech has many different class schedules with hands-on learning and applied knowledge. Financial aid is also available for those who qualify. ITT Tech in San Bernardino is located on Briar Drive. More information on your new career is at 800-888-3801. ITT Tech and education for the future.
For David and Tom Gardner on this week's Motley Fool Radio Show, Dr. Ruth pays us a house call to talk love, sex, and money.
Even if there are some worries about money, that should lead to hugging and kissing and to say to each other, look, I'm here for you.
Plus, we'll play our game of Fool Fact or Fool Fiction. Join us this week for the Motley Fool Radio Show from NPR.
Saturday morning at 11 and Sunday afternoon at 1 on KVCR, San Bernardino.
Back here at Arrowhead Credit Union Park, the Quakes held scoreless in their time at bat in the first, so now it's the 66ers' turn, and Inland Empire will match up with the Quakes lefty starter Daniel Davidson, who carries with them into play tonight a mark of 11-6 with an ERA of 4.56. This will be his 26th start of the year, and his 5th against the 66ers. He has worked 146 innings, got 108 strikeouts to his credit, 35 walks, and he has allowed 177 hits. Top 3 in the order for the 66ers, Gary Harris, Juan Gonzalez, and Jesus Guzman. Davidson just 1-2 in 4 starts against the 66ers this season. Harris will get things going here. Davidson against Inland Empire has an ERA of 4.50. He's worked 24 innings, given up 34 hits, 15 strikeouts, and 5 walks against Inland Empire hitting. That'll be another hit as Harris rips one on the line into right field, bouncing in front of Carlos Duncan. Leadoff base hit for Gary Harris. He was in a slump of sorts, I guess, even though he's hit some ridiculous figure 31 out of his last 35 games. He had been hitless in his last 9 at-bats before that single. Juan Gonzalez will be the next one up. Davidson last pitch on Friday. That game at Lake Elsinore, he picked up the W, went 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 1 of them on a home run. Throw over to first base, Harrison standing, no tag. Davidson has had just 2 quality starts in his last 10. That included a loss to Inland Empire back on August the 5th. Now the throw over to first base. Harris stumbled a bit but got back in. Sixers won that ball game 14-9. Davidson, in just 4 2/3 innings, gave up 7 runs. Though 5 of them were earned, 2 were unearned. Here's the first pitch to Gonzalez, hit off to the right and out of play. 0-1 the count. Davidson, a 23-year-old, a product of Florida State. He's from the Florida area down in Panama. Gonzalez, a switch hitter, batting from the right side. Third baseman playing up. Davidson set, belt high, and another step and throw over to first. The catcher tonight for the Quakes is Ryan Budde. Mike Napoli at first base, B.J. Weed at second. Adam Pavkovich at third baseman, and Erick Aybar manning shortstop. It's Gates, Willits, and Duncan from left field to right. There goes Harris on the 0-1. It's inside and no throw from Ryan Budde. Stolen base for Gary Harris. So now a runner in scoring position for Juan Gonzalez. That pitch was called a strike, so it's 0-2. For Gary Harris, he is now 21 for 24 in stolen base attempts here in the second half. Aybar sneaking in, now backing away from Harris. The 0-2 floated out of play toward the right. That pitch in on the hands of Gonzalez. Count still 0-2. Juan has picked apart Rancho pitching this year to the tune of a .337 batting average. Juan's normal BA is .298. Davidson with a look back, now the 0-2 swung on. A soft bouncer toward the third baseman Pavkovich. He charges and fires to first for the out. Harris had to hold up at second base. That'll go down 5-3. First out here in the first inning for Jesus Guzman. Jesus snapped his 7-game hitting streak back on Sunday. Went 0 for 2 in that one and was 0 for 2 again last night. Davidson coming set. Infield for the most part playing back. Here's the offering. It's down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. The lights are on. They have yet to take full effect. You can see much of the San Bernardino Mountains in the background except for the far mountains, the peak out in right field. That's covered a little bit. There goes Harris again. The 1-0 inside. The throw down to third. Pavkovich with a tag. And Harris is out. Caught stealing 2-5. Harris did not get the best jump in the world, and Budde with a very accurate throw right on the bag. 2 down, base is empty now, and a 1-0 count on Jesus Guzman. Pardon me, the count should be 1-1. Davidson working out of the stretch with nobody aboard. Next one fouled back. Jesus hitting .295 this season. He has struck out an awful lot as of late. 17 in his last 12 games. 1-2. Called third. Oh, it's a second strike. I apologize. Thought one was fouled out of play. That was in an earlier at-bat. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Davidson set at the belt. Here's a pitch. Swung on, and Guzman just got a piece of it as it rolled outside the home plate cutout. 66er mascot Bernie entertaining the crowd in the lower seats. Got a lot of Angels jerseys out here tonight. Angels t-shirts, Angels paraphernalia with Troy Glaus in his second rehab game here. Guzman swings and misses, and Budde tags him out after the pitch fell in the dirt. 66ers waste an opportunity here at the first. No runs. A hit, a stolen base, and a caught stealing. No errors and nobody left on. We played 1 full, no score yet.
At Loma Linda University Children's Hospital, they're totally committed to providing your child with the most advanced care available. They're the only children's hospital in the Inland Empire. From cuts and broken bones to cardiac care and transplants, the medical staff at Loma Linda University Children's Hospital attends to each child with love, concern, and personal attention. More information is at 800-825-KIDS. Loma Linda University Children's Hospital.
Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries is a proud supporter of 66ers baseball. Lazy Boy has locations in San Bernardino, Riverside, Hemet, and Ontario Mills. Lazy Boy has been a part of America's home since the late 1920s. Lazy Boy's furniture stands the test of time thanks to quality materials, extensive engineering, and rigorous testing. They're committed to building only the quality furniture and back every piece with their word. Lazy Boy. They make rooms that make homes.
A ship at sea. No land in sight. No modern tools. How would it find safe harbor? 150 years ago, there was no way, until an unknown country clockmaker proved it was all a matter of time. Lost at Sea, The Search for Longitude, on Nova.
Wednesday night at 8 on KVCR-TV, Channel 24.
Neither team scores in the first inning, so we'll go to the second. Red Johnson for the 66ers will pitch to Mike Napoli of the Quakes, followed up by Ryan Budde, and then it's David Gates. Napoli stomping out a group for himself with his back foot. Johnson retired all four he faced in the first inning. Carlos Duncan had reached on an error. There's the first pitch on the way. Missed outside, 1-0. If you caught up on what transpired around the California League last night, in a pretty much meaningless baseball game, Bakersfield walloped over Visalia 10-0. Johnson deals low and the count 2-0 to Napoli. Napoli hitting .290 this season, 27 home runs and 109 driven in. Everybody playing straight away. 2-0 coming. Called strike on the outer part of the plate, 2-1. Jamie Shields started and won the game for the Blades. He's now at 7-5. Complete game effort for him. That was the first complete game of the season for any Blaze pitcher. Allowed 2 hits and struck out 4. Big cut, no contact from Napoli, and the count moves to 2-2. Ben Crockett was the losing pitcher, 4-11 now. Luis Mateo went 2 for 4 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. And then he got ejected for arguing balls and strikes with our old friend Bojo Mars. 2-2. Swung on. Napoli just got a piece of it, and it's fouled to the back side of home plate. High Desert with a thriller over Lake Elsinore, 10-9 in 10 innings. A lot of weird, wild stuff went on in that one. We'll get to that a little bit later. Just give you the basics for the moment. Mark Hamilton was the winner in relief. He's now at 2-2. Swing and a miss at a high fastball for Napoli. That's the first strikeout of the ball game for Red Johnson. Next up, the catcher, Ryan Budde, right-handed hitter. Nathaniel Mateo, in his first opportunity with the Storm, since being named their closer with their promotion of Dale Thayer to AA, Mateo lost it. He's now at 6-2. For High Desert, Jeff Ure, 3 for 5, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. Enrique Cruz extended his hitting streak. Pitch into Budde, swung on, and a ground ball to the shortstop, Garcia Parr. He'll field. Long throw over to first, but the stretch by Hagan will retire Budde. 6-3 putout. Up next, David Gates. Casey Baker for the Storm last night had 4 hits, including a home run. He drove in 2 and scored 4 times. Stockton squeaked one out over Modesto, 10-9. Omar Beltre, the winning pitcher. Chris Shank took the loss, and David Mazurek with his 7th save. Offensively for Stockton, Joaquin Arias, 4 hits, 3 runs and an RBI. And Joshua Hoffpower went 2 for 4 with 2 runs driven in. Hoffpower was in the Mariners system previously. Didn't make it out of spring training. Pitch inside the Gates, 1-0. David Gates, a left fielder, up at the plate. That's hit .267 this year. 18 home runs, 77 driven in. Greg Sleece sets a low target. Pitch up and in, 2-0. Finally, Lancaster over San Jose, 5-3. Mike Watson was the winning pitcher. He is now at 6-1. The 2-0 missed down and away, 3-0 to Gates. Jackson Marquette took the loss. Sam Smith picked up his first save of the season, normally a starter for the Jethawks. Was used in relief yesterday, simply because the starting pitching had been so bad that Backman moved him to the pen. Pitch down low, and Gates draws himself a 4-pitch walk. Next one up, Adam Pavkovich. Jared Ball went 3 for 4 in the ball game. A double and a home run, 2 driven in. Enrique Gonzalez was the starting pitcher for the Jethawks. He didn't get a decision, but he went 7 innings and only gave up a run, 5 hits and 8 strikeouts. Lancaster skipper Wally Backman, yet again ejected this season. And he could draw a lengthy suspension. Johnson out of the stretch, ground ball toward the shortstop Garcia Pond behind the bag. They'll flip to Gonzalez, and they get the force out on Gates to retire the side. The Quakes here in the second, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We'll have more coming up. Sixers coming to bat, 0-0 ball game.
Community Hospital of San Bernardino's dedicated team of physicians, nurses, and general health care professionals have been serving the local community for nearly 100 years. They provide medical care that's both state-of-the-art and straight from the heart. They're located on Medical Center Drive between Highland and Baseline. Community Hospital of San Bernardino, the relief specialist. Information is available at 1-877-CHW-DOCS.
It was another time and another place in American life. It was radio. This is Ed Rothbauer inviting you to join me this week as I remember radio when your favorite comic characters, Archie Andrews and all the gang, come to life. That's Bob Hastings as Archie, Harlan Stone as Jughead. Archie Andrews, Saturday afternoon at 2, and again Sunday morning at 5, here on KVCR San Bernardino Riverside, as I remember radio.
Getting home safe. Tonight a designated driver is my place. At the tails of the universe, a designated driver is right for every season. When you're out to do, celebrate, make sure a DD is doing a tailgate. When you're out to do, so celebrate, make sure a DD is.
We all make a difference. Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Sixers 0 and Quakes 0. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning. No score yet. John Nelson, Carlos Arroyo, and Matt Hagan due to hit here. John Nelson has not had a hit since coming back from his 3-game suspension. Beginning on Sunday and continuing through yesterday. He's 0 for 8 since coming back with 2 strikeouts. John's still hitting .339 over his last 14, which is impressive, considering he's got an 0 for 8 in there over the last 2 games. He floats one down the right field side in foul ground. Napoli giving chase, and he got to it. Right near the pitching mound, and the Quakes bullpen made a nice over-the-shoulder catch. First out of the inning. That'll bring up Carlos Arroyo. Carlos, the most consistent of the 66ers hitters this year. Not very streaky at all. Just gets the job done, gets it done quietly. He's got a 6-game hitting streak going right now. 10 for his last 25. First offering from Daniel Davidson, right in there for a called strike, 0-1. Around the Cal League tonight, Lake Elsinore sends Eddie Bonine to the hill against High Desert's David Bradley. The 0-1 swung on and hit over top of the Sixer dugout into the crowd, 0-2. Brad Ziegler gets the ball from Modesto against Edison Valquez for Stockton. Brian Lynch for Visalia matches up with Bakersfield's Scott Autry, pitched down and away in the count 1-2. And Garrett Brocious will go for San Jose tonight against Jesus Silva for Lancaster. Crazy night in the Cal League last night. This was a very calm game here. The 1-2 bounces out of there into the right-handed batter's box, 2-2. High Desert won on a Jeff Ure walk-off home run. 10-9 victory in 10 innings. The new closer for the Storm, Nathaniel Mateo, gave up the gopher ball. That drops the Storm to 2 games behind Rancho now in the race for a playoff spot. Fly ball into right field. Carlos stuck it over on it, and he makes the grab. Arroyo retired, 2 down for Matt Hagan, who drove in the lone Sixer run yesterday. That home run for Ure was the second of the ball game. It came with 1 out in the 10th on a 2-2 fastball, and he sent it over the left field wall. By the way, Dale Thayer, who was the previous closer for Lake Elsinore, hasn't blown a save all season. Mateo did it on his first opportunity. So Some injury news for Lake Elsinore. Their catcher, Andres Pagan, left that game last night. He was hit with a foul tip in the right wrist during the fourth inning. Pitch inside to Hagan, 1-0. Pagan was slated to see a doctor today. No word on the diagnosis. Matt hitting .227 this season, had 3 hits yesterday, 3 for 4 with a double and an RBI. The 1-0, just above the knees for a called strike. Count moves to 1-1. Matt has hit safely in 10 of his last 15, but he's also struck out 17 times in his last 15. The 1-1, swung on and missed, pitched down in the way, so Hagan falls behind now at 1-2. Matt has hit the Quakes a little bit better than the rest of the Cal League this year, though not by much. .241 average against Rancho. 1-2 swung on and missed, and Davidson out of the inning. 66ers go down in order here in the second. We'll go to the third inning of play. 0-0 between the Sixers and Rancho.
The good folks at Center Chevrolet have one simple philosophy: to exceed expectations in every area as it pertains to their customers' needs. Center Chevrolet is family-owned and operated. This allows them to offer you their personal guarantee that your experience will be pleasant and you'll be greeted by a courteous and knowledgeable staff member. Center Chevrolet, serving the Inland Empire for over 50 years, is located at 1355 South East Street and on the web at centerchevrolet.com. Chevy, an American revolution.
As California continues to grow, so does the important underground infrastructure. Just about anywhere you dig, there could be an underground facility lying in wait. How do you avoid hitting them? The easy way, the legal way, is Dig Alert. It's the one-call notification center that supports all of Southern California. It's a simple process to help and avoid the costly errors of cutting fiber optic cables to the hazard of damaging power lines or gas pipes. For more information before you dig, 1-800-227-2600.
What are you doing this weekend?
I'm going whitewater rafting.
I'm acting in 2 different shows.
I'm going camping. I am going to be out in my garden putting compost on my plants.
I'm Barbara Bogave. While you're out on the road or around the house, check in on our new show, Public Radio Weekend. We'll talk about the news, what to read and what to buy, and the things we all get passionate about when we're off the clock. A Saturday is a terrible thing to waste. Join us. Saturdays at noon on KVCR, San Bernardino, Riverside.
Here we go to the third inning. No score yet between Inland Empire and Rancho Cucamonga. The number 9-hole hitter for Rancho, B.J. Weed, will lead things off. Weed is switch hitter. He'll bat from the left side. Red Johnson has faced 8 through 2 innings. He's got 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Delivers low in the count, 1-0 to Weed, who is hitting .280 this season. In the on-deck circles, Erick Aybar. He'll be followed up by Reggie Willits. The 1-0 missed away in the count, 2-0. B.J. Weed with a 5-game hitting streak going that began back on August the 18th. Wind up in the 2-0 from Rhett Johnson, down low, 3-0. When Rhett walked David Gates last inning, it was also on 4 pitches. Third baseman Jesus Guzman up on the grass. Here's a 3-0. Missed away, not even close. Johnson walks Weed on 4 pitches to lead off the inning. Weed, yes, he's a 9-hole hitter, but not the typical 9-hole hitter. Weed with a very respectable batting average. Erick Aybar will be the next one up. Some other news from around the Cal League. For Lake Elsinore, their backup catcher, Luke Carlin, might return to fill their 25th roster spot. Carlin was sent down to Fort Wayne back on August the 1st. There goes Weed, the pitch low, and a 1-hopper by Greg Slee on his first attempt to catch somebody. Weed will move up to second base on a stolen base. For B.J. Weed, that's his 17th swipe of the year. Slee did a pretty good job of throwing out runners in college. He's a product of Huntington College in Indiana. It's a small NAIA school, enrollment of about 1,000. Runner in scoring position for Aybar, the count 1-0. Here's a pitch from Johnson, down and in, and Aybar scoots out of the way, 2-0. For his career, Slee had thrown out 43.6% the would-be base stealers. In his senior year, it was even better. Threw out 54.2% of them. That one wasn't even close. Corner infielders up, and the 2-0 from Johnson swung on. Hit right at Matt Hagan on a bounce. He looks toward third. Instead, will step on the bag, and Weed advances. Hagan, with a conservative approach, takes the shore out. Now there's a runner on third base with one out for Reggie Willits. Willits with a fly out to left his first time around. By the way, the reason that Luke Carlin had been sent down was because there's a catcher in the Padres system, George Gutierrez, that had been playing for Greece in the Olympics. But all the players who are playing ball in the Olympics, baseball at least, should be back in town on Friday. That includes Ryan Rowland-Smith. And if you haven't heard on his status as to whether Australia won today, stay with us. Pitch outside to Willits, 1-0. Enrique Cruz for the Mavericks extended his hitting streak to 28 games last night. He had that 3-run home run we told you about earlier. Corner infielders up. In fact, everybody up. The 1-0 outside. It scoots away from Slee, but he recovers. 2-0. One of the Mavericks relievers, however, Eric Henderson, not so good for him. He's been nursing a sore shoulder for quite some time. He was put on the DL last night. The infield playing up. 2-0 the count. Here's a pitch on the way. Swung on into center field for a base hit. Wouldn't have mattered if the infield was back or not. Coming home to score is B.J. Weed, and the Quakes have themselves a 1-0 lead here in the top of the third inning. RBI for Reggie Willits. He had one yesterday in the series opener as well. Next one up will be Carlos Duncan. For Reggie Willits, that's RBI number 49. Duncan reached on a two-base error by John Nelson in the first. Strange situation last night between the Mavericks and the Storm. It was a tie ball game in the top of the 8th inning. Lake Elsinore was batting. Johnson coming set. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss at a high fastball, 0-1. The bases were loaded with Storm runners. Maverick skipper Bell Queen comes out of the dugout for a trip to the mound. He's got no bullpen. The Brewers refused to send extra help to the Mavericks. They've got nobody left. The 0-1 with the runner going, swung on, hit into shallow center field. Harris will not get it. It short hopped on him. Rounding second is Willits. He might get gunned down. Tag applied. Nope, not in time. Juan Gonzalez took the throw a little bit offline, and he had to reach behind him. Can't imagine why Willits made a turn there. In any case, it's a second straight hit for the Quakes. Well, that puts 2 aboard for Troy Glaus, and when he hit his home run last night, same situation. Reggie Willits at second, Carlos Duncan. Well, it wasn't Duncan yesterday, but there was a runner on first. It was Ryan Budde yesterday. Red has not surrendered a home run yet this season. This is only his 5th appearance, though. Here's a pitch on the way. Taken in there for a called strike, 0-1. Glaus, the Angels' third baseman / DH. Trying to recover quickly from shoulder surgery. Surgery on his right shoulder. Trying to get back for a stretch run with the Angels into the playoffs. The 0-1 swung on, and he bounced it toward the left side, slowly rolling toward Jesus Guzman. He throws high to Hagan, who reaches down and tags Troy Glaus on his way by for the out. Nice alert play there from Matt Hagan. Guzman had to rush the throw and rolled so slowly toward it. Moving to third is Willits. Duncan up to second, 2 outs. Napoli now up at the plate. Mike Napoli struck out to lead off the second inning. In any case, Queen went out to the mound, and because he had nobody in the pen, he pointed out the right field. He brought in his right fielder, Mario Mendez, to pitch. Mendez has thrown a couple of innings this year, but never in a situation like that. Check swing, and it goes toward the first base coach's box, count 0-1 to Napoli. In fact, Mendez in the game against the 66ers back on August the 15th was all set to come in and pitch. He actually threw a few warm-up pitches after Dan Kolb was ejected, but then the rains came and the game was called as Mendez was warming up. Well, Mendez retired the only batter he faced last night. The 0-1 inside, 1-1 to Napoli. Mendez, in fact, did not even respond to the wave from Melqueen. He had no idea what he was waving at. Mendez again came in to replace Dan Kolb. Johnson looking in. He's got the ball behind his back and now will step off the back of the rubber. Kolb went out to right field to play a third of an inning. Returned to the mound in the ninth. Got the Storm in order. And then Mark Hamilton, who's a pitcher/fielder, gets weirder and weirder for the Mavericks. 1-1 down in the dirt, blocked by Slee. 2 balls and a strike. Hamilton came in from left field, pitched in the 10th, and the newcomer Jake Surface took his place in the outfield. Everybody playing everywhere for the High Desert Mavericks. Got to be versatile. The 2-1 coming, swung on and hit sharply and back in the 66er dugout. Nice grab out there by a fan as he got it rolling by. 2-2. Can't understand it, and neither can the High Desert front office and their personnel there. The Brewers have the #1 system in all of minor league baseball as far as prospects are concerned, and they absolutely refuse to send anybody of any worth to High Desert. Ball swung on, softly rolling toward Matt Hagan. He fields and bobbles the ball, safe all around. Now they've got the runner Duncan held up between third and home. Hagan throws to Guzman. Guzman running him toward the plate, throws to Gonzalez covered, and they get Duncan sliding in at the plate. That's the third out of the inning. Willits' run will count. That'll be an infield single, presumably, and an RBI for Mike Napoli will wait on that. In any case, the play on Duncan will go 3-5-4 at the plate. 3-5-4 at the plate. The Quakes in the inning get 2 runs. We'll let you know about the hit total. And 1 runner left on base. We will go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Quakes now lead it 2-0.
Hello, kind people of the world. It's me again, letting you know about the features of the Verizon Super Pages. You see, the Verizon Super Pages is the only Yellow Pages that's with you wherever you go. The Super Pages is on the Internet. The Super Pages can be downloaded to your cell phone. Other books.
The Mariners this season in the June draft. Here's a pitch on the way. It's outside, 1-0. Kids out of Liberty Center, Ohio. Again, he played at Huntington College. Honorable mention All-American in 2003 and 2004 in the NAIA. Davidson set. Here's a 1-0. Swung on and hit, right toward the 6er dugout. Almost hit Mike Steele in there. Luckily, it hit the railing out in front, right where Steele was standing. Count 1-1. Slee hit .369 in his senior year at Huntington, 21 RBIs. Leading off at first is Garcia Parr, and the 1-1 taken for a strike. 1-2. For his career, Slee hit .324 in college. Made just 8 errors in 156 games. The 1-2 coming. Missed outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Slee became the first position player ever from Huntington to be drafted. They did have 7 pitchers drafted at one point or another. Slee throws with the right hand, obviously, as a catcher, but he bats from the left side. The 2-2 taken down and away, and the count now full. Gregory wearing number 31 on his back. That number vacated by T.A. Fulmer when he got sent up. Garcia Parr leading away from first. Here's a payoff pitch, swung on and missed. Strikeout for Daniel Davidson. That's his 3rd of the ball game. He's had 1 in each inning. Gary Harris now comes to the plate with a runner on first and 2 outs. Harris singled to right to lead off in the first inning, stole second, and was caught trying to steal third base. Davidson coming set, looking in, and delivers outside to Harris, 1-0. By the way, Wally Backman ejected yesterday by Chris Bakke after arguing a call It's concerning their shortstop, Danny Richard. He was hit on the left hand, but the umpire ruled that Richard actually fouled the ball off. The 1-0 on the outside corner for a called strike, 1-1 to Gary. Backman actually came out, held up 4 fingers to indicate that that was the 4th blown call of the night. That'll get you run. Whether the umpires have a vendetta against you or not. The 1-1, check swing by Harris, and it's on the outside corner for another called strike, 1-2. Backman, in his heart of hearts, really believes that not just Bo Morris and Shane Alexander, who's had numerous run-ins this year, but now all of the California League umpires have it in for him. Could be true. The 1-2 on its way. Swung on, lifted into shallow left center field. Diving attempt by Reggie Willits. He came up with it. Oh, what a nice play by Reggie Willits, leaving his feet, leaping parallel to the ground and coming up with it just before it touched the top of the grass. Tough out for Gary Harris, and the 66ers are done here in the 3rd. No runs on a hit and a runner left on. We'll go to the 4th. It's 2-0 Rancho Cucamonga.
You know, baseball players aren't the only people who rely on a good night's sleep to maintain peak performance. We all do. That's why the right mattress is vital when you're shopping for a new bed. Banner Mattress has sold nearly 2 million mattresses since it opened in 1926. Why have so many people relied on Banner Mattress? Because they still make their own beds using old-world craftsmanship that was the philosophy of the company's founder. Banner Mattress has 3 San Bernardino locations on South E Street, Hospitality Lane, and South I Street.
If your home team is hungry for a mealtime winner, there's Carl Budde. With 9 flavors like smoked turkey, honey ham, and corned beef, they've got taste and variety that won't strike out. Plus, Carl Budde offers the convenience that keeps meal preparation time from going into extra innings. Original Carl Budde is available in 2.5-ounce, 8-ounce, and 1-pound sizes at your local grocer. Carl Budde, a real slice of life.
Voters in the swing state of Missouri have swinging views of the economy these last 2 years.
I think the economy is down, and a lot of people have lost good work. It's hard to sit here and see jobs going across seas every day.
I think the economy's on the upswing. It's doing really good. President Bush has really done a great job.
I'm Steve Inskeep. How different people perceive the same economy tomorrow on Morning Edition from NPR News.
Right here on KVCR, San Bernardino.
Rancho Cucamonga will come to bat here in the top of the 4th inning. 66ers at a 2-0 disadvantage on the scoreboard. Leading things off for the Quakes will be Ryan Budde, followed up by David Gates and Adam Pavkovich. The Quakes scored both of their runs last inning in the 3rd. B.J. Ween with a leadoff walk. He stole second base and moved to 3rd on a ground out. Reggie Willits drove him in with an RBI single to center. Carlos Duncan then followed up with a single of his own. First pitch up and into Budde, a little chin music, and it's 1-0. Troy Glaus then grounded out 5-3. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. Mike Napoli came to the plate. Hit one toward Matt Hagan. Hagan bobbled, probably went out of play anyway. Pitch inside, 2-0. Willits came in to score, then Duncan, figuring maybe that Hagan was going to try to flip to Johnson to get the out at first, took a big turn around 3rd, and Hagan alertly got him hung up. Eventually, he was tagged out after the rundown at home plate by, of all people, Juan Gonzalez, who came in to cover from 2nd. Johnson misses down and away in the count 3-0, and Rhett, struggling with his command here, he's already walked 2, both times on 4 pitches. He's trailing Budde here 3-0. Ryan Budde with a 6-3 ground out his first time around. He takes outside for ball number 4. Another reason Johnson is here is because of his mechanics and his control. So close to making it to the big leagues. He played here in San Bernardino in 2001 and for a little part of 2002. Gregory Slee goes out to have a word with him. David Gates, the next one up. He walked and was forced out in the 2nd. Walk number 3 for Rhett Johnson. He'll go out of the stretch, and here's the pitch on the way to Gates. Swung on and hit toward the Quakes on deck circle, 0-1. For the season, The 66ers have issued a Cal League low 330 walks now right on the dot. If you include the 3 tonight. It's a little over 2.5 per game. No team entering play tonight had walked fewer than 392 this year. That's about a 65 walk difference. Pitch down low to Gates, count even at 1-1. We've got action in the 66er bullpen, a righty warming up down there. Might be Greg Ware down there. The 1-1 on the way, swung on and hit up the middle, base knock. Holding up at second is Budde. So the first two runners reach here for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Adam Pavkovich will come to the plate now. He hit into an inning-ending fielder's choice back in the second. Actually, that's Jon Huber down there. We understood before the ball game started that Huber would probably come in for Johnson after Rhett's night was done. So Huber now loosening. John hasn't pitched in quite a while. Here's the offering on the way, came inside, and the count 1-0. It's been about over a week now since Huber's taken the hill. He last pitched on the 18th, so it was a week ago today. Pavkovich with an open stance. Johnson looking back, the 1-0 on the way. Right down the chute for a called strike, 1-1. Quakes up 2-0 here in the top of the fourth inning. 66ers now with just one run in their last 28 innings. Johnson takes a peek back, now the 1-1. Almost got away from Slee. What a great stop that was. Never even used the chest protector, just stopped it with the mid as it bounced up there. 2 balls and 1 strike. There's a sea of angel red behind and to the side of the Quakes dugout along the first base side. They all came here for Troy Glaus. I don't even know how they knew about it yesterday. The 2-1 this time is going to get away from Slee, and Johnson just flat out missed. Wild pitch that bounced in the left-handed batter's box. Both runners will move up, Budde to third and Gates to second. Johnson looked at his hand there as if something was wrong with it, and Dwight Bernard will come out now. Bobby Meacham, the manager for the Quakes, did not even find out that Glaus was going to be here yesterday until the Quakes were on the bus ride over here to San Bernardino. No announcement was made that I know of. And all of a sudden we look down and there were 3 or 4 people last night in Troy Glaus jerseys. Now Johnson in a bit of a bind here. Nobody out in the top of the fourth. 2 runners in scoring position here for Adam Pavkovich. Pavkovich went 0 for 4 in the ball game last night. Had a 10-game hitting streak earlier on that was snapped in the first week of August. Pavkovich with the blue stirrup showing below the gray pants. Pitch missed down and away for ball number 4. Rhett Johnson has walked 2 in the inning and 4 overall tonight. The bases are juiced now for B.J. Weed. Weed walked, stole a base, and scored in the third. Weed with the bases loaded this year is 3 for 12 with 6 RBIs. He's also grounded into a double play twice with the bases loaded. Matt Hagan playing in front of the runner at first, the rest of the infield back. The first pitch in there for a called strike, 0-1. Weed has driven in 47 runs this season. He's got a little 5-game hitting streak going. The 0-1 outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. On this road trip for the Quakes, Weed is 5 for 15 with a double and an RBI. The Weed with an even stance. His front knee really bent. His back went almost straight up. Pitch outside, and it's 2-1. Johnson takes his cap off, wipes his sweat off of his forehead. Now he takes the ball behind his hip, looking into sleep for the signs. Johnson coming set, chest high, and the 2-1. Missed down and away. 3 balls and 1 strike, and Johnson in danger of walking in a run here. I would imagine if he does so, that'll be it for him. 2-0 Rancho Cucamonga here in the top of the 4th. Rhett looking in. He's got to give something for Weed to hit here. Weed knows it's coming. Take a look around the Major League scoreboard while we have a moment coming up. Gary Harris shifted toward right center by about 3 steps. The 3-1 swung on into right center field in the air. That'll be deep enough to score the run. Harris makes the catch on the fly. He will throw into second base. Coming in to score is Budde. Moving up to third is Gates. Give Weed a sac fly RBI. And the Quakes now up 3-0 on the 66ers. For B.J. Weed, RBI number 48. Johnson gets himself an out at least. Now runners at the corners for Erick Aybar as the Quakes go back to the top of the order. Aybar tonight 0 for 2 thus far. 2 ground outs, both to the right side. Hagan will hold Pavkovich at first. Guzman even with the bag and off the line at third. Pitch to Aybar outside just a bit. Count 1-0. In the on-deck circles, Reggie Willits. Tell you, the way the Sixers have been swinging the bat as of late, 3 runs seems like a mountain of a deficit. Pitch inside of Aybar, 2-0. Check the American League scoreboard in the top of the 8th. The Yankees are leading the Indians 3-2. Paul Quantrill currently pitching for New York. The 2-0 on its way. Swung on and bounced foul toward the Quake bench. Elsewhere, final from Detroit. The Tigers defeated the White Sox 5-4. Chicago made a run in the 9th, scoring 3 runs, but it wasn't enough. Johnson comes set. Here's a pitch. Missed down and away. 3 balls and 1 strike. In the bottom of the 8th inning, the Red Sox on the road leading Toronto 11-5. Toronto has scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th. They're still batting, but still have a ways to go. Johnson with the 3-1 to Aybar. It's swung on and bounced foul once again. Back here, Reggie Willits waiting on deck. In the top of the 6th inning, it's a 7-5 lead for Minnesota over Texas. Hank Blaylock lasted home run number 28 in that one. Justin Morneau, the kid for the Twins, a recent call-up, has hit home run number 13. 3-2 coming with the runner going from first, and it's hit foul back into the upper seats on the third base side. So the count remains full. Kansas City and Anaheim should be underway by now. We haven't gotten a score from that one. We'll see if we can get an update here. Yep, they're in the middle of the 4th. And the Angels leading the Royals 5-1. Runner going again. Ball hit toward the shortstop, Garciaparra, who was going over to cover the bag. He's got only 1 play, and it's to first base to get Aybar. Coming in to score the Quakes' 4th run is David Gates. Give Aybar an RBI ground out, 6-3. Moving to second is Pavkovich. Well, with the runner going, that eliminated the possibility of a double play. This will surely be the last inning for Rhett Johnson. 4-0 Rancho. Reggie Willits now at the bat. Runner on second, 2 outs. Willits has already delivered a run-scoring single and a fly ball. Swings at the first offering, down and in, 0-1. At the end of the 4th tonight, Baltimore and Oakland are scoreless. Over in National League action, the Giants defeated the Marlins 6-5 in 10 innings tonight. Walk-off home run in that one. Johnson with the ball behind his back, looking in towards Slee. Now the 0-1 coming. Down in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Hitting the game winner for the Giants. Well, it wasn't a home run, but it was a game-winning RBI for A.J. Brzezinski, who came into pinch hit. The Giants pitched around Barry Bonds. Shocker there. The 1-1 hits off the foot of Rhett Johnson, bounces toward Juan Gonzalez. He'll throw to first with a put out on Willits on a close play. Gonzalez was actually headed up the middle because he thought that ball was going to get through. And once it hit off of Johnson, Gonzalez had to put on the brakes and head back toward first to field it. So the Quakes done here in the fourth, but not before they get 2 more runs on just 1 hit. No 6er errors, but the 2 walks killed Johnson. 1 runner left on base. Will go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Sixers trailing 4-0.
Which Yellow Pages do more people in San Bernardino County use? The SBC Smart Yellow Pages, of course. They're online at smartpages.com. Omnitrans is working hard to provide the public with a level of service that's bigger and better. A listing of their system-wide improvements is in your bus book if you're a current Omnitrans rider or on their website. Omnitrans operates the nation's first gasoline-electric hybrid buses and over 100 buses powered by clean natural gas 7 days a week. Omnitrans will get you to work, school, or wherever life takes you with improved routes and better service. More information is at 800-966-6428 or on the web at omnitrans.org. Be smart, be safe, Omnitrans.
This week, a Prairie Home companion comes to you from Wolf Trap outside Washington, D.C. with that great Broadway singer, Kristen Chenoweth, the Hopeful Gospel Quartet, the Shoe Band, Peter Strushko, Mike Aldridge on dobro and steel guitar, Fred Newman doing sound effects, Sue Scott, Tim Russell, the news from Lake Wobegon, all coming up this week.
Saturday afternoon at 3, rebroadcast Sunday evening at 7 on KVCR San Bernardino.
Sixers trailing Rancho 4-0. The home team comes to bat here in the bottom of the 4th. That'll be Juan Gonzalez, Jesus Guzman, and John Nelson. Over in the National League, as I mentioned, San Francisco got by Florida 6-5 in 10 innings. Pittsburgh with a 2-1 victory over Arizona. Randy Johnson was a loser in that one despite giving up only 3 hits. That's a tough one. Montreal doubled up Los Angeles 6-3. Jose Lima surrendered 4 home runs in that one, including Brad Wilkerson's 24th. Atlanta an 8-1 winner over Colorado today. Juan Gonzalez takes time for ball number 1 from Daniel Davidson. By the way, Chipper Jones had 2 home runs for the Braves today. Eli Marrero also went deep. 1-0 on the inner part of the plate. Belt high for a called strike. It's now 1-1. A 4-2 victory for the Cubs over the Brewers today. Corey Patterson won it in the 9th with a home run. Fly ball out in the right field. Duncan went back, now comes in, reaches up, makes a catch. He lost the ball in the exchange, about to throw it back into the infield, but he had it for a long enough time. Juan Gonzalez now 0 for 2, and that'll bring up Jesus Guzman. Finally, the Houston Astros with 4 runs in the 8th defeated the Phillies 7-4. That marks a first ever season sweep for the Astros over the Phillies. Carlos Beltran had a home run. Jeff Kent had 2. First pitch into Guzman, low, 1-0. Jesus struck out swinging on the bad pitch in the first. Some news for the Mariners that came through last night. The 1-0 in there for a called strike to Jesus, 1-1. Joel Pinheiro will not pitch again this year for the Mariners. That did not come as a complete surprise. He had elbow surgery. 1-1, grounded toward the third baseman Pavkovich, fields cleanly and throws over to first, 2 down. 5-3 put out. Here comes John Nelson. Pinheiro was on the 15-day DL since July the 26th. It's a long time on the 15-day DL. And his strained right elbow. Got hurt in the start all the way back on July the 25th against the Angels. Left that ball game in the 8th inning. Threw 114 pitches that night. Here's the offering to John Nelson. In there for strike number 1. Mariners really didn't pressure Pinero to come back. They've been out of contention for so long now, it really doesn't matter at this point. 0-1 low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Fortunately, Pinero, a couple of MRIs showed no ligament damage. So he avoided season-ending surgery, but he's got a long rehab coming up. Swing and a miss by Nelson to count 1-2. Pinero actually began throwing very lightly on level ground, not on the mound, before yesterday's game against Tampa Bay. Hopefully he'll play in the fall league. Pitch up and into Nelson as he limbos out of the way, 2-2. Pinero went 6-11 this year with a .463 earned run average. Bases empty, 2 outs. Here's the windup of the 2-2 to Nelly. Inside again, count full. John popped up into foul ground his first time around and could over-the-shoulder catch of the bullpen by the Quakes first baseman, Michael Napoli. The windup from Davidson and the payoff pitch to Nelson swung on and bounced foul near the coach's box. Darren Brown lets it roll by. So we'll do it once again. This is the finale of a short 2-game series between these two squads. The Sixers will have the day off tomorrow, their second day off of the week. And the San Jose Giants roll into town for the one and only time this season. Swing and a miss by Nelson. He goes down on strikes. K number 4 for Daniel Davidson. Inland Empire retired in order for the second time tonight. We'll go to the 5th inning, still 4-0 Rancho.
San Bernardino, you could use a change. Is it time for you to change your motor oil and filters? The Public Services Department has free used oil and filter collection containers available to City of San Bernardino residents. Containers are available at City Hall at 300 North D Street. Please bring a valid ID and your current water bill, only one of each per household. Used motor oil may be taken to any certified recycling center in San Bernardino. For a complete listing, the number is 1-888-OIL-DROP. This program is funded by a grant from the California Integrated Waste Management Board.
There can be no love without sacrifice. No choice without consequence. And no triumph without loss. This is the unforgettable saga of one family's struggle to grab hold of the American dream. American Family.
Wednesday night at 9 on KVCR TV, Channel 24.
As California continues to grow, so does the important underground infrastructure. Just about anywhere you dig, there could be an underground facility lying in wait. How do you avoid hitting them? The easy way, the legal way, is Dig Alert. It's the one-call notification center that supports all of Southern California. It's a simple process to help and avoid the costly errors of cutting fiber optic cables to the hazard of damaging power lines or gas pipes. For more information before you dig, 1-800-227-2600.
We go to the 5th. Rhett Johnson out and Jon Huber into the ballgame for the 66ers. Hopefully Huber, the righty who was acquired from the San Diego Padres in the deadline deal, will be good luck charm here for the Sixers. He pitched the last time the Sixers won a week ago today at Bakersfield. Huber in that outing against the Blaze up north played 5 2/3 innings, gave up 6 runs, but 2 of them were unearned, surrendered 11 hits, 4 strikeouts and 4 walks. Wasn't the prettiest effort, but he got the W in the end. He'll face Carlos Duncan, Troy Glaus, and Michael Napoli, the heart of the order here. The Quakes scored 2 in the 3rd, 2 more in the 4th, and Rhett Johnson gets the hook after just 4 innings. He gave up 4 runs, all of them earned on 4 hits. First pitch into Duncan right down the middle, 0-1. Johnson walked 4 and struck out just 1. Jon Huber with a mark of 2-0 since joining the 66ers. Swing and a miss by Duncan. Count 0-2. Huber in his time with Inland Empire has been a little bit shaky after his first outing. A 5.23 earned run average. He was the ace for the Lake Elsinore Storm staff for much of this year. Deals loaded Duncan, the count 1-2. The 66ers last won a week ago today, defeating Bakersfield 13-9. Huber has a long blue shirt, Underneath the white jersey, time is called before he can deliver the 1-2. Overall this year, Jon has a record of 10-6. He delivers down low to Slee, unable to block it, and the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jon, a 5th-round pick of San Diego back in 2000. This is year number 5 for him in the minors. 2-2 swung on, grounded toward the left side, diving stop by Jesus Guzman. He throws from his knees but does not have nearly enough on it. Infield single for Carlos Duncan. That's his 2nd hit of the night. He also reached on an error. Good attempt by Guzman. There's not enough momentum on the throw. So Troy Glaus will come to the plate here. From our understanding of things, Glaus, if he makes it back to the Angels, will play exclusively in a designated hitter role. Glaus saying he doesn't feel great about that, but he'll do what he can. Troy tonight, a fly out and a ground out. Right-hander against right-hander here. Huber looking back toward first. He'll come set. Now the pitch on the way. Right down Broadway, called strike, 0-1. Glaus will be eligible for the postseason, even though he will not be on the roster by September the 1st, which is the cutoff date. And that's because he's on the 60-day DL, so they make an exception. The 0-1 hit over top of us. Huber gets ahead of Glaus here at 0-2. Glaus had surgery on that shoulder back on May the 21st. There were a lot of concerns within the Angels organization and with their fans and their supporters that Glaus really had bailed on the season. But apparently he's been working hard to get back. The 0-2, nice movement, but it just came inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Glaus played in just 91 games last year, had a partial tear of his right rotator cuff. Huber looking back toward first. Carlos Duncan occupying the base, taking holding him close. Late kick of the 1-2 down low, and a good block by Slee. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Glaus only had 108 American League at-bats this year. Not bad numbers, 11 home runs, 28 runs driven in. He had a .296 average at the time of his departure. Ground ball to Guzman, could be 2. He throws to Gonzalez for 1. Gonzo had trouble getting the ball out of his hand. So Glaus will reach on the fielder's choice, 5-4. Should have been 2 there. Juan just couldn't dig the ball out of his webbing. Lead runner Duncan eliminated for the first out of the inning. Michael Napoli will now come to the plate. Napoli had an RBI single in the 3rd inning. That brought home Reggie Willits. It was an infield single hit toward the right side. The Quakes with 4 runs on 5 hits. Huber delivers, swing and a miss from Napoli, 0-1. Inland Empire, no runs on 2 hits. Sixers have also committed an error tonight. We'll be back with you again on Friday for the opener against San Jose. A Friday, Saturday, Sunday affair. Pitch low and the count 1-1. It's a 7-11 start time on Friday. Don't forget that's 50-cent Friday out here at Arrowhead Credit Union Park. Another 7-11 start time on Saturday, and then a 6-11 first pitch on Sunday. 1-1, a high pop-up into the bullpen on the right side. Hagen gives chase, runs out of real estate. Didn't know about the 5th row. Huber ahead now at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Don't forget Sunday's game will be an internet-only broadcast on sportsjuice.com. Take a look around the standings, and even though Inland Empire has played well below their level over the last week, they still look good when you take a closer look at the playoff situation. Here's a stretch in the 1-2 from Huber, swung on and missed. That's a strikeout on Michael Napoli. As good a hitter as he is, and as great as his statistics have looked this year, he still strikes out an awful lot. Ryan Budde will be the next one up. For Mike Napoli, that is strikeout number 150 this year. Well more than one per game. Ryan Budde walked and scored last inning. 0 for 1 officially with a ground out. Huber delivers the fastball outside, 1-0. Starting play today, if you look at the wild card standings only, not the second half, but the wild card, the 66ers lead Rancho Cucamonga by 6 games and are on top of Lake Elsinore by 8 games. The 1-0 on the way, down low, 2 balls and no strikes. If you look at it realistically, the Lancaster Jethawks are probably going to win the second half as well as winning the first half. That'll open up 2 wild card spots in the South. Lancaster wins the second half, 2 wild cards get in. Right now, the 66ers' magic number to knock out the Storm is 5. The 2-0 on the way, swung on and lifted foul over top of us. 2 balls and 1 strike. That means that for the rest of the season, any combination of 66er wins and or Lake Elsinore losses that totals 5 will get the 66ers into the postseason. That's not a whole lot. Both teams have 12 games remaining. The Sixers can even play decent baseball the rest of the way they're in. The 2-1, Athens for a called strike down the middle, and the count even at 2-2. In order to get home field in the first round, that's a little bit different. The 66ers will need a combination of their wins and 7 Rancho Cucamonga losses. Swing and a miss by Budde. He strikes out to end the inning. Here in the frame for the Quakes, no runs and a hit and 1 runner left on base. We will go to the bottom of the 5th. It is still 4-0, 66ers trail.
Once again, 66ers baseball is partnering with the San Bernardino County Regional Parks. With 10 regional parks in the county, San Bernardino County Regional Parks offers camping, fishing, swimming, hiking, and a variety of special events and activities throughout the year. Catfish season runs through September, and the water parks are open from Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day weekend. For more information on the park near you, call the number at 909-38-PARKS.
The good folks at Center Chevrolet have one simple philosophy: to exceed expectations in every area as it pertains to their customers' needs. Center Chevrolet is family-owned and operated. This allows them to offer you their personal guarantee that your experience will be pleasant and you'll be greeted by a courteous and knowledgeable staff member. Center Chevrolet, serving the Inland Empire for over 50 years, is located at 1355 South E Street and on the web at centerchevrolet.com. Chevy, an American revolution.
Looking for someplace new and interesting to surf on the web? Want to hear about new search engines and interesting websites? This is Dan Angelo for Postcards from the Web. You can get your postcards delivered 2 times a day, at 7:36 in the morning and now at 6:33 in the evening. So whether you're going to work or coming home, listen to Postcards from the Web here on KVCR-FM, San Bernardino, Riverside.
66ers being shut out right now, 4-0, as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Finishing up quickly, I thought, on the wild card race again. If the 66ers wins and the Quakes losses for the rest of the year total up to 7, then the 66ers will get home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs. So there you go. 66ers still looking good, despite this 5-game losing streak right now. Daniel Davidson still on the hill for Rancho Cucamonga. They'll face Carlos Arroyo, Matt Hagan, and Matt Rogelstad. Arroyo flied out to right field. It's only time up. Up north, it's a little bit more clear. Modesto will have home field advantage in the first round, and Stockton and San Jose will spend the rest of the regular season battling it out for the number 2 slot and home field advantage. Pitch down low, and the count 1-0. Modesto gets the first round off no matter what happens. Right now, Stockton leading San Jose in the wild card race by half a game. So they will probably go down to the wire. The next Davidson offering, this is outside again, and it's 2-0 to Arroyo. Here's a pitch on the way, swung on, Short line drive into left field. Diving is David Gates. He did not come up with it. Arroyo makes a big turn, heads halfway down the line, and now will scurry back as the ball comes in. Yes, the third hit of the night for the 66ers. Gary Harris has one. Michael Garcia-Parra has one. Second time tonight the Sixers have had the leadoff man reached. Matt Hagan now comes to the plate. Matt struck out swinging to end the second inning. Do a check of the California League scoreboard here for you right after this pitch. Davidson with the first offering to Hagan down and in. 1-0. In the top of the sixth inning, High Desert leading Lake Elsinore 2-1. In the top of the fifth, Lancaster shutting out San Jose 3-0. Also in the top of the fifth, Modesto blanking Stockton 5-0. Stockton doesn't have a hit yet through 4. The 1-0 coming, swung on and hit over the screen and into the stands. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the top of the second inning, Bakersfield with an early lead on Visalia 1-0. Bakersfield got a run despite the benefit of having no hits. 1-1 the count. Davidson with his feet together deals to Hagan. It's down and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Going on Friday for Inland Empire, at least tentatively, will be Juan Sandoval. Bobby Livingston will follow him on Saturday. Sandoval Friday, Livingston Saturday. The 2-1 swung on, hit into the left center field gap, in there for a base hit. Heading to third is Arroyo. Willits with a sliding cutoff. It got by him. Gates backs it up. Here comes Arroyo to the plate. No throw, and the 66ers break the shutout and make it a 4-1 ball game. Reggie Willits had problems out there. He tried to slide and cut off the ball, and it wound up scooting underneath his body. Gates couldn't find it at first, finally did, but it was too late at that point. That'll be an RBI double for Matt Hagan. So it's now a 4-1 ball game. That'll bring up to the plate Matt Rogelstead. Give Hagan an RBI on the play. Matt tonight 0 for 1 with a pop-up. Davidson looking behind him for one of the few times tonight. He deals on the outside corner for a called strike to Rogelstead. 0-1. Sixers with 2 consecutive hits. They had just 2 hits total through the first 4 innings. Here's the 0-1 on the way. Almost hit Rogelstead. Matt turned his back at the last moment. 1 ball, 1 strike. You take a look at Davidson inning by inning this year. The 5th inning has been one of his worst. A 5.32 earned run average when you total up his 5th innings worth of work this year. Next offering outside to Rogelstead, 2-1. Matt coming off of his suspension for his actions last week in Adelanto. A look back in the 2-1, missed outside, 3 balls and a strike. For Matt Hagan, that is RBI number 43 for him. Incredible for Matt. Now 35 of his 72 hits this year have gone for extra bases. That's the 2nd year in a row now he's kept up that type of pace. Budde goes out to say something to Davidson. Rogelstead had 2 hits and a double back on Saturday against Modesto. Sixers eventually lost that game in 11 innings. The 3-1 coming. Swung on, hit into the right field corner, going deep, and it's going to get to the wall. Hagan will score easily. Rogelstead headed for second. Duncan digs it out. Rogelstead gunning for third. There will be no throw. Now there's one, and it's late. Pavkovich gets it beside the bag. Sixers now trail 4-2. 3 consecutive hits for the Sixers, 2 extra base hits in a row. A triple for Rogelstead brings Hagan across. Next batter for the 66ers here will be Michael Garcia-Parra. Sixers are eating into this Rancho lead. Michael had a single to center his only time around. Matt Rogelstead, his sixth triple of the year and RBI number 40. Davidson out of the stretch, deals, and Gar fouls one off the other way. 0-1. Matt now has 12 RBIs in his last 19 games. 4-2 here in the bottom of the fifth. Center fielder Willits shaded a few steps toward right center and playing in on Garcia-Parra. The next delivery inside, count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. In the on-deck circle is Gregory Slee. Davidson set in the 1-1. Swung on, short fly ball into right center. It's going to fall in there. Coming across is Rogelstead. It got underneath Willits. Now going to second is Garcia-Parra. He'll be in there. That'll be a single and an error. The 66ers now down 4-3. Well, Reggie Willits on the last couple of times out there has had trouble playing the ball. That should be a single and an error, presumably. We'll wait on the official word. In any case, it is now a 4-3 ball game. Give Garcia-Parra an RBI because Rogelstead was at third and would have scored anyway. Michael heads to second on the error from Reggie Willits. Gregory Slee will be the next batter, and the Quakes converge on the mound to talk things over. Sixers trail by only 1 now. Fast and furious comeback here. Runner on second. Still nobody out in the inning. So Slee with a chance to make his mark here. He struck out swinging in the third inning. As far as comeback wins this year, the 66ers have had 29 come from behind victories. Check swing by Slee in the pitch upstairs, 1-0. They've come back from 4 runs back to win twice, which would be the situation here. Both of those wins came against the High Desert Mavericks. Garcia-Parra away from second and the 1-0 outside. 2 balls and no strikes. A single by Arroyo, a double from Hagan, a double or triple for Rogelstead, and then a single for Garcia-Parra. He's on second on the error. The 2-0 to Slee. Taken outside for a ball, 3-0. Davidson becoming unglued here. Nobody up in the Quakes pen as of yet. A little early for that. Sixers have put together 4 hits in a row. Davidson stepped off momentarily, now back on the rubber. Gar with his short lead off of second and the 3-0. Missed outside, ball number 4. Was outside by about 1.5 inches. 5 consecutive have reached here, and now there's activity in the Rancho Cucamonga bullpen. A right-hander begins loosening down there. Back to the top of the order we go for Gary Harris. Gary with a single and a flyout was robbed on a diving catch by Reggie Willits in the third. Runners on first and second. The infield will play halfway in here, it would appear. Tafkovich up on the grass at third. Now Napoli playing behind Slee at first. Middle infield a double play death. Harris takes high for a ball. He showed buck and pulled it on back. 1-0 the count. Sixers have surged ahead of Rancho in the hit column, 6-5. Harris taking his time, climbing back in. Sixers down by 1. Garcia-Parra at second, Slee on first. Napoli playing in front of the runner. The 1-0 coming. Swung on, a line drive down the right field line. It is a foul ball. Oh, so close. The crowd was ready to erupt here. The 66ers were about maybe 8 inches from tying this game or maybe taking the lead. Instead, it's a 1-1 count to Harris, who appeared to have broken his bat there. He'll get a new one from Jesus Guzman. Boy, the front of Gary's uniform is filthy, caked in dirt, all the way from the chest down to around the thighs. He has already attempted 2 stolen bases. 1 successful, 1 unsuccessful. Lefty against lefty here. Small leads for both runners, the 1-1 coming. Swung on and missed. Harris was swinging for the fences. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Gary just 1 out of his last 11. He's hit .312 over the last month plus. Goes back 35 games. The 1-2 taken low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Taking a look at the flags on Home Run Hill. They are waving in the slight breeze. Going from left to right shouldn't have an effect on the ball one way or the other. At least not now. Aybar backing away from Garcia-Parra. The 2-2 hit out in front of the plate. When he fields, the runners will advance. The throw to first in time to get Harris. That'll go down as a 2-3 ground out. That's as good as a sacrifice. Garcia-Parra to third and Slee to second. Now Juan Gonzalez comes to the plate. Juan Gon hitting .324 over the course of his last 36 games. Juan 0 for 2. Well, fly out and a ground out. 66ers have the tying runner at third, the go-ahead at second. Here's a stretch in the initial offering. Popped him up, foul ground, first base side. Budde giving chase, but it's in back behind the dugout, into the seats. 0-1. Juan Gonzalez has driven in 52 runs this season. He's got 5 RBIs in his last 11 games. That comes after a string in which he went 10 games in a row without a run driven in. So certainly a turnaround for him. The 0-1 swung on and missed in an awful pitch. Down and away, and Gonzo couldn't have reached that one if he had a golf club. 0-2. Both runners leading away from the bases. Middle infield playing back, as are the corner infielders. Time is called before the next pitch. The sun is fully set here in San Bernardino. The lights in the Radisson Hotel in the background clearly visible. Gonzalez lines up striking out. Davidson with a nasty offering. He is now 0 for 3. Jesus Guzman, the next one up here. Jesus with a strikeout and a ground out. 66ers have put 3 across here. Are oh so close to evening this ball game. Here's a stretch in the pitch down low. 1-0. Jesus, a right-handed hitter, going up against the fourth-sider Davidson. He gets the signs from Budde. Now comes set, dealt high. The 1-0, swung on and missed. A fastball belly high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Guzman has driven in 56 runners this season. That comes in 102 games. The 1-1 hit on the fly out in the center. Willits going back, still going back. It's going to be in there for extra bases. Gar scores. Coming home is Slee. An RBI double for Guzman. He plates 2, and the 66ers have the lead. Reggie Willits did not misjudge that ball. He just played too far in, out of position. Jesus Guzman put it over top of him for a 2-run double. How about this from the 66ers? They've looked lifeless for the better part of a week, and all of a sudden they scored a game's worth of runs here in the 5th inning alone. John Nelson now at the bat. Here's a pitch on the way, swung on and hit out of play toward the concourse back at first. 0-1. Nelson, the 9th hitter of the inning. He popped out and struck out tonight. '66ers putting a crooked number up on the board here in the 5th. Nelson takes low and the count even at 1-1. This is the 44th time this season that the 66ers have scored at least 4 runs in an inning. They've now batted around for the 34th time. 1-1 swung on and missed. So Nelson trails on the count 1-2. John is 0 for his last 10. And if you want to go back to his final at-bat before he was suspended, 0 for 11. Here's a 1-2. He reaches down and flies one into center field. Well, it's going back. That's over his head. Into the wall. Nelson will have a double. He will stop there. Coming home to his score, standing up as Guzman. The 66 is up 6-4. Daniel Davidson getting shelled here in the 5th. That could be it for him, and it will be. Bobby Meacham coming out of the dugout. We'll have a new pitcher coming in for the Quakes. The 66ers have put 6 runs up on the board here in the 5th inning. There are 2 outs. Inland Empire already in this frame have themselves 5 hits, I believe. Yes, 5 hits, 3 of them for extra bases. A right-hander will come in to take Davidson's place. We'll have the specs coming up for you. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning, 6-4 lead for the Sixers. We'll be back with you in 90 seconds.
San Bernardino, you could use a change. Is it time for you to change your motor oil and filters? The Public Services Department has free used oil and filter collection containers available to City of San Bernardino residents. Containers are available at City Hall at 300 North D Street. Please bring a valid ID and your current water bill, only 1 of each per household. Used motor oil may be taken to any certified recycling center in San Bernardino. For a complete listing, the number is 1-888-OIL-DROP. This program is funded by a grant from the California Integrated Waste Management Board.
Hey, this is Red Green from the Red Green Show, and you're not going to believe this, but my show is now running on KVCR out of San Bernardino. So check it out. It's a little bit different. We've been doing it for quite a while. We're probably in our 14th year. We had 2 days off for good behavior up here in Canada, and it's not nearly as bad as it used to be. You might enjoy it, and if you do, give them a call at KVCR and let them know. That'll shock them.
Saturday nights at 11 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on KVCR TV, Channel 24.
Once again, 66ers baseball is partnering with the San Bernardino County Regional Parks. With 10 regional parks in the county, San Bernardino County Regional Parks offers camping, fishing, swimming, hiking, and a variety of special events and activities throughout the year. Catfish season runs through September, and the water parks are open from Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day weekend. For more information on the park near you, call the number at 909-38-PARKS.
You know, folks, prior to this inning, the 66ers had scored 1 run in their previous 30 innings. And then all of a sudden, they have exploded for 6 runs in this frame. The new pitcher will be Ozzie Lugo, who has not appeared. Is that James Carroll out there? Oh, the voice of the Quakes, Jason Anaforian, indicating that there's a uniform number change. So that is, in fact, James Carroll and not Ozzie Lugo out there. Lugo has been on the DL for quite some time and has not appeared in over a month. So Carroll wearing Lugo's uniform number tonight. So it is, in fact, James Carroll out there. He will deal to Carlos Arroyo, and the pitch on the way. In there for a called strike, 0-1. Thank you, Jason. 6-4 lead for the 66ers here. All 6 runs coming in this inning. There are 2 outs, and John Nelson is standing on second base. Carroll looks back and deals, and it's outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. James Carroll last appeared on Sunday at Lake Elsinore. Gave up 2 earned runs without getting an out. 1 walk and no strikeouts. A look back to second in the 1-1. Hit toward the shortstop, Aybar. Funky hop, but he plays it well. Dug out of the ground by Mike Napoli at first. And James Carroll able to put out the fire here in the 5th. But not before the 66ers get 6 runs on 5 hits. No errors and a runner left in scoring position. We will go to the 6th. Inland Empire leads at 6-4.
Toyota of Redlands is pleased to once again be partnering with the California League champion 66ers. Located at 1139 West Redlands Boulevard, Toyota of Redlands has a line of new 2004 Toyota cars and trucks, as well as certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Toyota of Redlands is part of the local community just like you and believes in personal relationships, and they're open 7 days a week. More information is at 793-0300 or on the web at toyotaofredlands.com.
An urban legend.
There are a lot of stories about things that have happened here in this park.
An instrument of hate.
Hitler was taking over UFA, using it for the military.
A Hollywood mystery.
Something like it has been put on the screen.
A search for clues.
Oh, there it is.
Leads to astonishing answers.
Wow, that's really great.
Next time on History Detectives.
Thursday night at 9 on KVCR-TV, Channel 24. A recent survey showed more people in San Bernardino County prefer the SBC Smart Yellow Pages. For shopping information, SBC Smart Yellow Pages is the most used Yellow Pages around. The SBC Smart Yellow Pages.
Back here with you live in San Bernardino, the 66ers, after trailing 4-0, put up a 6 spot in the bottom of the 5th inning. So now it's a 6-4 lead. Jon Huber remains in the ballgame to pitch, and he'll face the bottom 3 in the Rancho order. David Gates, Adam Pafkovich, and then it's B.J. Weed. Huber came in to pitch the 5th, gave up a single but struck out 2 and got a fielder's choice. The final line on Daniel Davidson, 4 2/3 innings, 6 runs, all earned, all coming in the last frame on 8 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. The 66ers had managed just 2 hits through the first 4 innings tonight. David Gates, the first one here to bat in the inning. He's got himself a single, a run scored, and a walk. The windup and the pitch on the way. In there for a called strike, 0-1. And the error earlier on in the inning by Reggie Willits doesn't mean a thing because it was followed by a couple of doubles. So that run still earned. Pitch low to Gates, 1 ball and 1 strike to count. David Gates officially tonight 1 for 1. Here's a pitch from Huber. Swung on and missed. Nice breaking pitch, and the count now 1-2. Get you caught up on what happened around the Mariners minor league farm system last night. In AAA, Tacoma dropped one to the Portland Beavers 7-4. Portland scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th. All swung on and hit toward the shortstop Garcia Parra. Step onto the outfield grass. They'll throw to first in plenty of time. 6-3 ground out, 1 down in the 6th, and up comes Adam Pafkovich. Gustavo Martinez started and lost last night for the Rainiers. Went 5 2/3, gave up 6 earned runs, 4 walks, 7 hits. He took the loss now at 5-6. Offensively, Elpidio Guzman, Ryan Christensen, and Greg Dobbs each had 2 hits. Adam Pafkovich now at the bat. Huber deals on the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. Christensen, Pat Borders, and Greg Dobbs each had doubles. Dobbs and Christensen had RBIs. The windup in the 0-1. In there for another called strike, almost in the same spot. 0-2 the count. The AA San Antonio Missions were off last night. In the low A Midwest League, Wisconsin Needed 2 extra innings, but they defeated Quad Cities 3-2. That offering just missed low. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Pavkovich, who was hit into a fielder's choice and walked. Michael Moorhead got the ball last night for Wisconsin, pitched the first 8 innings. That pitch is swung on and missed. Huber strikes out Pavkovich. That's K number 3 for John. Up steps B.J. Weed. Michael Moorhead gave up 2 runs on 5 hits in 8 innings, striking out 7. Wisconsin needed the extra inning, so Moorhead did not get a decision. Michael Rancho, the usual closer, picked up the win, throwing the final 3 innings. Shutout baseball, only 1 hit. 5 strikeouts and 2 walks. Nick Orlando's had a 3-hit night for the Timber Rattlers. Weed finds one out of play toward the trees on the left side. No balls and 1 strike. Among those 3 hits for Orlando's was a home run. It was a home run of the 2-run variety that came in the first inning for the Timber Rattlers. The 0-1 coming. In there for a strike, 0-2. Adam Jones had 2 hits. Among them a double for the Timber Rattlers. Huber ahead of Weed here at 0-2. The switch hitter batting from the left side. Here's the delivery. Swung on and bounced foul toward the Sixer bullpen. In the Northwest League last night, Everett lost to Boise 3-1. Aaron Trolia started and lost for the Aqua Sox. He's now 1-3. Went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs on 6 hits. Matt Tuiasosopo had a hit last night for Everett. Foul ball off the bat of Weed, rolling toward Erick Aybar in the on-deck circle. So the count's still 0-2. The Aqua Sox managed just 3 hits in the ballgame yesterday. The windup in the 0-2 coming. Swung on and missed at a pitch in the dirt. Slee grabs it and will chuck it down to first base. Caught by Hagan for the put-out. Jon Huber has struck out 2 apiece in each of the last 2 innings. A 1-2-3-6 here for the Quakes. We'll go to the bottom of the inning. Sixers up 4-2.
Your grandparents came here.
The long drive, and it's a home run for Joe DiMaggio.
Your parents came here.
Here comes Roger Maris in the score and Potato pulling the second of the double.
Now it's your turn.
Number 3,000 for one of the great players of all time, George Brett.
Cooperstown, New York. A tradition of excellence for 7 decades. Be a part of it. For information, call 1-888-HALL of Fame.
From the day they were born, you wanted your child to have the very best. Loma Linda University Children's Hospital shares that same commitment, providing your child with the most advanced care available. Hospitals can be scary. Loma Linda University Children's Hospital provides a cheerful environment for more than 100,000 children each year, and they're the only children's hospital in the Inland Empire. Loma Linda University Children's Hospital. Information is at 800-825-KIDS.
The SBC Smart Yellow Pages is the most popular Yellow Pages in San Bernardino County. Why? Because the SBC Smart Yellow Pages is complete, trusted, and reliable.
The score, the 66ers 6 and the Quakes 4 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Inland Empire 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. They have stranded just 2 runners on base. Meanwhile, for Rancho, 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and they have left 5 men aboard. James Carroll will remain out there to pitch for Rancho Cucamonga. He got the final out last inning, inducing Carlos Arroyo into a 6-3 ground out. The Sixers batted around last inning, then some. They wound up sending 10 men to the plate. So it'll be Matt Hagan, Matt Rogelstead, and Michael Garcia-Parra batting here. Matt last inning had himself an RBI double that brought across Carlos Arroyo for the very first run. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He's also got a strikeout. Well, on the final day of baseball in Greece in the Olympics, both the bronze medal and the gold medal game were played. Started the first one. Canada and Japan played for the bronze medal. The winner got the bronze, the loser a hearty pat on the back. Pitch inside to Hagen, 1-0. Japan defeated Canada 11-2 to take the bronze. High Desert pitcher Mike Kusevich came in to pitch in the top of the 8th for Canada. Went just 1/3 of an inning, gave up a run on a hit. The 1-0 from Carroll to Hagen swung upon and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Japan takes the bronze. Canada finishes 4th. They were a favorite to win the gold medal, really, or at least the silver. They had a really strong team this year. The 1-1 inside, 2 balls and a strike. Meanwhile, a surprise to most people, Australia made it into the gold medal game today to take on Cuba. And, of course, that team includes 66er reliever Ryan Rowland-Smith. A 2-1 to Hagen, down low, 3 balls and a strike. That team also includes a couple of Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, right-handed pitcher Rich Thompson and outfielder Nick Kimpton. Well, neither Thompson nor Kimpton played today, but Ryan Rowland-Smith got the ball for the Australian Olympic team. 3-1 swung on and chopped fouls that hits the netting near the Sixer dugout. Ryan Rowland-Smith came in the top of the 6th inning. The bases were loaded with nobody out. Well, Rose Smith wound up giving up a double. Those runs were not charged to him, and then got the next 3 batters out in order. All in all, Rose Smith went 3 innings in the gold medal game. Fly ball out in the left field down the line. That's going to fall in there for Hagen. He's going to gun for second base. Gates chucks it into Weed. A head-first slide and a tag, not in time. Matt Hagen has himself a sliding double. What great hustle there. 2 doubles in 2 innings from Matt Hagen. Matt hesitated maybe for a split second coming around first. But once he made up his mind, boom. The accelerator kicked in, and Matt, with a leaping slide into second base, he left his feet probably about 6 or 7 feet before he got to the bag. Front of his uniform is dirty. Next one up, Matt Rogelstead, who tripled in Matt Hagen last inning. Rose Smith today again went 3 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs charged to him. He struck out 2 and walked a batter. In the end, we'll get to it after this pitch. Rogelstead stands in. Sixers up 6-4, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the 6th. Carroll delivers, and it's low 1-0. In the end, Cuba wound up defeating Australia 6-2. So a disappointing day, but nonetheless, Ryan Rowland-Smith hopefully brings his shiny silver medal back to San Bernardino so we can all see it when he gets in on Friday. Pitch outside to Rogelstead, 2-0. That game was marred, from what I understand, by a few controversial calls, including one that cost the Australian team dearly. It appeared that a ball was hit as the 2-0 comes in low, 3-0 to Rogelstead. It appeared from the news reports and from a couple of eyewitnesses that saw it that a ball that was hit by an Australian batter bounced off the wall and was caught by a Cuban outfielder, and it was ruled an out, which, of course, it should not have been. Ball 4 low to Rogelstead, so now 2 runners aboard with nobody out. Michael Garcia-Parra will come up next. It cost the Australians a couple of runs when they needed a rally, and they wound up dropping the ball game 6-2. In fact, the manager for the Australia team got ejected once he argued the call. John Diebel, the skipper for Australia. So some controversy surrounds that game, but Australia comes away with a silver. Not bad. James Carroll wiping the sweat from his forehead. He'll step off the rubber. Michael singled to right last inning. Brought home Matt Rogelstead in front of him. Corner infielders up on the grass. Middle infielder double play depth. First offering from Carroll in there for a called strike. 0-1. Ryan will be flying back into the States on Friday, rejoining the 66ers at that point. We're not sure yet if he's going to get here in time for the game on Friday, and even if he does, that is a long, long flight, so probably we won't see him in uniform until Saturday. Carroll steps off once again here. Checking the numbers on James Carroll, the reliever for Rancho Cucamonga. He's 4-3 this year with a save. An earned run average of 4.16. The 0-1 to Garcia Parr. He shows bunt and pops it up foul. Luckily, it fell down. Down now 0-2. James Carroll working his 43rd game of the season. He's logged 62 2/3 innings thus far. 32 strikeouts against 31 walks, not a terrific ratio. Darren Brown flashing the signs to Gar from near the third base coach's box. 66ers were shut out through the first 4 innings tonight, then exploded for 6 runs last inning. Carroll looks back, now the 0-2. Gar just got a piece of it and grounds it toward the Quakes dugout foul. Michael really had to reach out on that one and extend the at-bat. Looked like he was expecting a fastball there. Carroll drops the rosin bag from behind the hill. Now throws it back down. Sixers trying to break this 5-game losing streak, tied for their longest of the season. Garcia Parr with a slightly open stance. Black batting gloves and a ashen-colored bat. The 0-2 on the way. Swung on and the line drive. Snared by Aybar. No, he dropped it. He's going to get a play at third base. The force out will be recorded on Matt Hagan. Erick Aybar took a couple steps back on that one. He's a diminutive shortstop, and it just hit off the top of his glove. But alertly, he went back on it and fired to third for the out on Hagan. There was nothing Matt could have done about that one. Everybody in this ballpark, including myself, thought that one was eventually going to be caught. So that'll go down as a 5-4 force out on Matt Hagan. Garcia Parr reaches on the fielder's choice, and Rogelstedt moves up a station to second. So the 9-hole hitter, Gregory Slee, will now come to the plate. He walked and scored last inning, struck out a while back. First offering from Carroll down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Aybar, terrific shortstop, and 98 times out of 100, he's going to make that play on the line. He's sneaking up now behind the runner at second. Rogelstedt backs away and the pitch down and in. 2 balls and no strikes to Slee. Had a chance briefly to talk to Slee on Saturday when he got into Modesto. Wasn't a very long conversation, but seems like a real good kid, humble. Wants the opportunity to play. Guess that's true of any late-round pick. Slee hits one, a short hopper to Aybar, bounced off his chest, fielded by the second baseman Weed, and he's got no play anywhere. That'll be an error on Erick Aybar. Rogelstedt to third, Gar to second, and Slee reaches on the error. A slightly bad hop for Aybar, but a player of his caliber probably still should have had it. Slee does not run particularly well, so if Aybar would have knocked it down in front of him, instead of it rolling away, he still would have had the play in time. We've got a right-hander loosening in the Quakes bullpen again. That looks like Hector Estacio down there. Gary Harris now steps up with the bases juiced and 1 out up on the board. Inland Empire with a chance to really blow things open here. Gary Harris, with him loaded this year, has hit .429. He fouls the first one toward Juan Gonzalez in the on-deck circle. With 3 ducks on the pond this year, Harris is 6 for 14 with a double and a triple, 13 runs driven in, 2 strikeouts, and a ground-out double play. The right-hander, Carroll, versus the left-hander, Harris. He's got an extra batting glove sticking out of his back left pocket. The pitch low, and the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. 66ers have been leaving a ton of men on base lately. Left 32 runners on base in the Modesto series, 8 last night. Carroll looking back, still working out of the stretch. So 1-1, hit down the third base line, foul by about 5 feet. So Harris trails in the count now at 1-2. Over the last month or so, about 29 games now, the 66ers in that time frame have left about 8.5 runners on base per game. That's well over their season average. About a runner and a half over their season average. Looks like Harris had to get a new stick there. Home plate umpire David Rackley stalls and gets a couple new baseballs. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Harris. He's 1 for 3 tonight with a single, a fly out, and a soft ground out. All runners are leading. The infield playing back at double play depth. Sixers up by a deuce. Carroll looking around. Now the 1-2 to Jiha. Swung on and hit through the right side. Coming in to score easily is Rogelstead. Garcia Parra being waved around. Here's a throw from Duncan. It's cut off by Napoli. They will have Slee out at third base. That's the second out of the inning, but the Sixers scored 2 and lead it 8-4. Gary Harris comes through with the bases loaded once again. He drives in Rogelstead and Garcia Parra. Slee advances to second, but is out at third base. That'll go 9-3-5. And Harris at first base. Give him 2 RBIs on the play. That'll bring to the plate Juan Gonzalez. Boy, where is this coming from for the 66ers? The stretch in the offering. There goes Harris. The pitch taken low. A one-hopper to Aybar goes into center field. Oh, Harris tripped over Aybar. Will there be interference there? Nope, nothing called. Harris would have had a tough time making it to third anyway. Darren Brown at third base standing with his fists on his hips. And he wants to talk it over. Harris was late getting up. I don't think it would have mattered truly anyway. They count 1-0 to Juan Gonzalez. Give Harris his second stolen base of the evening. Gonzalez tonight 0 for 3. Here's a 1-0 coming. Missed outside, 2-0. 66ers now with 10 hits in the ball game. It's the 55th time this year they've had at least 10 hits. Gonzalez swings away and lines it down the right field line. Coming in is Gary Harris. He will score easily. It is now 9-4 Sixers on the RBI single by Juan Gonzalez. The Quakes staff is getting roughed up. That's going to do it for James Carroll. He put out the fire in the 4th, but the 66ers started another one here in the 6th. Hector Estacio presumably will come into the ball game. We're going to take a 90-second break. It is 9-4 66ers here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
From the day they were born, you wanted your child to have the very best. Loma Linda University Children's Hospital shares that same commitment, providing your child with the most advanced care available. Hospitals can be scary. Loma Linda University Children's Hospital provides a cheerful environment for more than 100,000 children each year, and they're the only children's hospital in the Inland Empire. Loma Linda University Children's Hospital. Information is at 800-825-KIDS.
Omnitrans is working hard to provide the public with a level of service that's bigger and better. A listing of their system-wide improvements is in your bus book if you're a current Omnitrans rider or on their website. Omnitrans operates the nation's first gasoline-electric hybrid buses and over 100 buses powered by clean natural gas 7 days a week. Omnitrans will get you to work, school, or wherever life takes you with improved routes and better service. More information is at 800-966-6428 or on the web at omnitrans.org. Be smart, be safe, Omnitrans.
Your grandparents came here.
The long drive, and it's a home run for Joe DiMaggio.
Your parents came here.
Here comes Roger Maris in to score, and Cepeda pulling the second with a double.
Now it's your turn.
Number 3,000 for one of the great players of all time, George Brett.
Cooperstown, New York. A tradition of excellence for 7 decades. Be a part of it. For information, call 1-888-HALL of Fame.
Hector Estacio throws over to first base. Juan Gonzalez back in standing. 9-4 lead for the 66ers. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 outs. Gonzalez on first base, and Jesus Guzman up at the plate. Estacio takes the place of James Carroll. He's a right-hander as well. Pitch down low, and the count 1-0 to Guzman. Jesus had a 2-run double last inning. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Estacio last appeared on Saturday. against Lake Elsinore. That was in the second game of a double dip, and he took the loss. Another throw over to first base, nothing cooking. Estacio this year 1-1 with a 5.64 ERA. He has started one game. The 1-0 swung on, hit into left field. That's in there for a base hit. Gonzalez rounding second. He'll be content there. That is a third consecutive base hit for the 66ers. Runners on first and second now for John Nelson. Nelson with an RBI single last frame. That brought home Guzman. The 66ers had just 2 hits through the first 4 innings. 6 hits last inning. And now they have 4 here in the 6th. Estacio looking behind him, now delivers to Nelson. Taken in there for a called strike. 0-1. Well, the 66ers had a couple of options, I guess. They could either continue on this losing streak. The 0-1 bounces up there, backhanded by Budde, 1-1. And kind of walked their way into the playoffs and hoped that the Storm and the Quakes lost enough ball games, but looks like the 66ers have taken it upon themselves to get themselves back into the thick of things without any help. The 1-1 coming. In there for a called strike at the bell. 1-2. Nelson tonight is 1 for 3 at the plate. An RBI double, a strikeout, and a pop-out. Estacio coming set, his glove held away from his body chest high. The 1-2 comes inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Waiting in the on-deck circle is Carlos Arroyo. Sixers sent 10 men to the plate last inning. This is the 8th batter this inning. The 2-2 on its way. Swung on and missed for a strikeout. Second time Nelson has struck out tonight, but the 66ers tack on another 3 runs. They do so on 4 hits, no errors in the inning by the Quakes, and 2 runners left on base. 6 innings in the books. We'll go to the 7th. 9-4 66ers.
Make a difference. Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Community Hospital of San Bernardino's dedicated team of physicians, nurses, and general health care professionals have been serving the local community for nearly 100 years. They provide medical care that's both state-of-the-art and straight from the heart. They're located on Medical Center Drive between Highland and Baseline. Community Hospital of San Bernardino, the relief specialist. Information is available at 1-877-CHW-DOCS.
I'm Kai Rizdal. This week on Sound Money, at colleges around the country, fall semester is just beginning, but one student's already earned an A in economics.
I've put together sort of a slipshod sign that says grad student discos for dollars.
A different kind of work-study program?
He's good. He actually can move.
This week on Sound Money, the money show for the rest of us.
Tune in Sunday at 12 noon on KVCR San Bernardino.
We'll go to the 7th inning. Apparently, Jon Huber was a good luck charm for the 66ers. Inland Empire leading Rancho 9-4. Coming up here for the Quakes, it'll be the top 3 in the order. Erick Aybar, Reggie Willits, and Carlos Duncan. Erick Aybar tonight, 0 for 3 with a ground-out RBI. By the way, for those of you loyal listeners out there, just to let you know about the status of Mike Sager, because apparently some rumors flying around. He either got fired or quit, bought his own Caribbean island. I don't know what's going on out there, but we've heard a few things. Mike just taking a hiatus, Seggs will be back with us on Saturday evening for the San Jose game. He's not going anywhere. Thank goodness for that. Bounce it toward the right side, handled by Matt Hagan. He'll make the play unassisted, beating Aybar to the bag. One down here in the 7th, and Reggie Willits will be the next one up. Reggie with an RBI single in the 3rd. He's also flied out and grounded out. The Quakes have been shut out the last 2 innings after scoring 2 apiece in the 3rd and the 4th. Willits batting from the left side, the switch hitter, going up against Jon Huber. Here's a pitch on the way, and it's low, 1-0. Calculating the final line on James Carroll, he works 1 inning, gave up 3 earned runs on 3 hits, a walk, and no strikeouts. The 1-0 from Huber, check swing, and a ground ball foul into the Sixer bullpen. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Some news from around minor league baseball. Looks like the LA Dodgers are going to extend their relationship with the Las Vegas 51s for another 2 years. The 51s are the AAA team of the Dodgers in Las Vegas. Soft ground ball to the left side. Guzman out in front of shortstop. Fires over to first, and a good split by Matt Hagan to retire Willits. 66ers are playing inspired baseball right now. Guzman had a long way to go to get to that ball. Cut in front of Michael Garcia-Parra. If it had rolled Aybar, there's no way that they would have had Reggie Willits. I don't know how Matt Hagan does it over there. All those splits and stretches. Hope he's able to have kids. Pitching to Carlos Duncan in there for a called strike. 0-1. There were rumors that the Dodgers were going to look elsewhere for a AAA team because of some uncertainty with the Las Vegas area. Duncan bounces 1 foul toward the third base coach's box, and the count 0-2. There was a stadium issue. The 51 stadium is antiquated, but they couldn't do anything with the stadium until it was fairly certain that Major League Baseball wasn't going to move into Las Vegas. So everybody was kind of held up in the process. The 0-2 from Huber popped up a mile high into the night sky. Back behind second base in short center field, it'll be Juan Gonzalez making the catch while backpedaling. 1-2-3 inning here in the 7th for Jon Huber. That's his 2nd in a row. He's faced just 1 more than the minimum through his 3 innings of work. It is stretch time here at Arrowhead Credit Union Park. We are tied up at 9-4 Sixer lead as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning.
Hello, fine people of the world. It's me again, letting you know about the features of the Verizon Super Pages. You see, the Verizon Super Pages is the only Yellow Pages that's with you wherever you go. The Super Pages is on the Internet. The Super Pages can be downloaded to your cell phone. Other books just sit at home in a dusty drawer weeping like a little girl who just ate too much Halloween candy. Well, I, on the other hand, am Wiley.
Online, on your cell, in the book, the Verizon Super Pages. Wherever you are, there it is. Omnitrans is working hard to provide the public with a level of service that's bigger and better. A listing of their system-wide improvements is in your bus book if you're a current Omnitrans rider or on their website. Omnitrans operates the nation's first gasoline electric hybrid buses and over 100 buses powered by clean natural gas 7 days a week. Omnitrans will get you to work, school, or wherever life takes you with improved routes and better service. More information is at 800-966-6428 or on the web at omnitrans.org. Be smart, be safe, Omnitrans.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, we continue our visit to Charlotte, North Carolina. Another great hour of history and discovery.
I've only seen 2 or 3 original RB11 5-strings in my life.
No.
Wow.
I cannot believe it. Oh, my gosh.
That's Antiques Roadshow, right here on this public television station.
Friday night at 8 on KVCR TV, Channel 24.
Back here live at Arrowhead Credit Union Park in San Bernardino as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. 66ers leading the Quakes by a score of 9-4. Just to get you updated quickly in a scoring situation, one of the 3 runs for the 66ers last inning will be unearned because Greg Slee reached on an error. the run scored by Gary Harris will be unearned because it came after what should have been the third out of the inning had Slee been retired. So there you go, 3 runs, 2 earned last inning for the Sixers. Hector Estacio delivers to Carlos Arroyo, and it's taken on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. We have some defensive changes here for Rancho Cucamonga. We'll tell you about it as soon as we get it sorted out. Arroyo digs down deep and misses on a low pitch, and they count 0-2. Carlos singled and scored in the 5th. He also grounded out in the 5th. Flied out in his other at-bat earlier. 1 for 3. Here's a pitch on the way. Swung on and hit up the middle. Shortstop Aybar with a diving stop. He pops up, throws to first, and they got Arroyo by a quarter of a step. Terrific play from Erick Aybar. 6-3 put out on Arroyo. Here comes Matt Hagan. The infield looks the same for the Quakes. Napoli at first, Wheat at second. Aybar the shortstop, and that's still Adam Pavkovich out there at third. So presumably the change or changes are in the outfield. Matt Hagan with 2 doubles in his last 2 at-bats. First offering nailed down the left field line, but well fouled. Hagan just a bit out in front of that one. The changes in center field. Doesn't look like Reggie Willits out there anymore. We'll get you updated here in just a second. Felix Nunez has taken over in center field. That's the case. Pitch to Hagan, a foul tip into the mid of Budde, and the count 0-2. So Felix Nunez will now bat in the 2 spot in place of Reggie Willits. Not sure if Willits got hurt out there at any point. 1 out, bases empty, and the 0-2 is on its way from Estacio. Taken for a called third strike. Pitch appeared to come in high and dip low around the chest at the last moment. Second strikeout for Estacio. That'll bring up Matt Rogelstead. Rogie tripled in a run in the 5th, walked and scored last inning. Left-hander warming up for the 66ers. Pitch taken outside, 1-0. That is Melvin Pizarro down there. Got a right-hander loosening for the Quakes as well. The 0-1 coming. On the outside corner for strike number 2. Looks like that's Phil Wilson warming for the Quakes. The 0-2, dug out of the dirt, swung on, and hit into center field over second base for a base knock. Matt Rogelstead went golfing, hit it into the fairway. Rogie with his second hit of the night. He keeps the inning alive for Michael Garcia Parra. Michael 2 for 3 tonight with an RBI and 2 runs scored. That is the 13th hit of the night for the 66ers. The Quakes have been limited to just 5. Here's a stretch in the pitch from Estacio, down low, 1-0. Hector works out of the stretch whether there are runners on base or not. Melvin Pizarro is through in the pen. Huber has to start again on Sunday, so that'll probably be it for him. The 1-0 swung on and flying down the right field side, foul. 2 outs here in the fray. Heading back to first base is Rogelstead. In the on-deck circles, Gregory Slee. He's got the catcher's legs protectors on just in case the inning ends here. Small lead off of first for Rogie. About 2.5, 3 steps. Here's a 1-1. Taken low. 2 balls and a strike. Michael with 2 hits in the ball game tonight. He had been just 1 out of his last 23. Rogelstedt now inching a little bit further away from first. 2-1. Swung on and missed. Pitch tailing away from guard. And the count now 2-2. Don't forget, Sixers have the day off tomorrow. We'll be back Friday when the San Jose Giants come into town for a 3-game set over the weekend. The 2-2 coming from Estacio. Bounces away, Budde with a nice backhand. So the count full, and Rogelstedt will be taking off with the pitch here. First baseman Mike Napoli will play behind him. The Quakes have worked it a couple times this year where they've had the first baseman on a play such as this sneak in from the blind side. See if the Quakes set it up here. Nope, they're going to deliver. There goes Rogie in the 3-2. Get toward the left side on the ground. Oh, Pavkovich booted it. He's got no play anywhere. He literally kicked the ball. Brought his glove up and it hit off his foot. An error all the way on the third baseman, Adam Pavkovich, pardon. Michael Garcia-Parra reaches on the error. Rogelstedt up to second. That'll bring up Gregory Slee, getting his first start tonight in the 66er uniform. 0 for 2 in the ball game. First pitch to him outside. 1-0 the count. Slee reached on an error by Erick Aybar last inning. He has walked and scored and also struck out. Sixers leading 9-4 here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 outs up on the board. Pitch swung on, fly ball into center field. Reggie Willits coming in this time and over toward his left will make the catch for the final out. Sixers here in the 7th with a hit, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base. The 66ers have stranded 6 tonight through 7. We'll go to the 8th. It's still 9-4 Inland Empire.
San Bernardino, you could use a change. Is it time for you to change your motor oil and filters? The Public Services Department has free used oil and filter collection containers available to City of San Bernardino residents. Containers are available at City Hall at 300 North D Street. Please bring a valid ID and your current water bill, only 1 of each per household. Used motor oil may be taken to any certified recycling center in San Bernardino. For a complete listing, the number is 1-888-OIL-DROP. This program is funded by a grant from the California Integrated Waste Management Board.
If your home team is hungry for a mealtime winner, there's Carl Budde. With 9 flavors like smoked turkey, honey ham, and corned beef, they've got taste and variety that won't strike out. Plus, Carl Budde offers the convenience that keeps meal preparation time from going into extra innings. Original Carl Budde is available in 2.5-ounce, 8-ounce, and 1-pound sizes at your local grocer. Carl Budde, a real slice of life.
Hi, I'm Christopher O'Reilly. On this week's From the Top, a teenage pianist introduces us to the vibrant Polish composer Miloš Magin. We'll hear the musical Pulank, performed by a flutist who's just 12 years old, and we'll meet the 18-year-old boy who went up the mountain a guitarist and came back down a cellist. That's From the Top this week, brought to you by PRI Public Radio International.
Tune in Sunday night at 6 on KVCR, San Bernardino.
The new pitcher for the 66ers is southpaw Melvin Pizarro. Quakes coming about here in the 8th inning. 66ers with a 9-4 lead. Jon Huber with an outstanding outing in relief. He went 3 innings, gave up 1 hit. That was to the first batter he faced, Carlos Duncan, and even that was an infield hit. Jon did not walk a batter and struck out 4 Quakes. But Huber's 2 best outings have come in relief, both of them. That may be something to look at in the playoff race. Troy Glaus, the rehabbing angel, will lead things off here. He's got himself an 0 for 3 night going. Melvin Pizarro works out of the stretch. Comes set it to Melt. And here's the first offering to Glaus upstairs. 1-0 the count. Well, if you look down the first base line behind the dugout, everybody in those sections came here to see Glaus hit tonight. So let's see if Pizarro goes after him. Nobody on base, now's the time. The 1-0 inside, 2-0. Each time Glaus has come up tonight, he's had at least one runner on. Melvin Pizarro with a 3-4 mark and 7 saves, a 4.21 ERA. It's been pretty awful lately. Pitched down low and it's 3-0. Melvin had a run this year of about 12 games where he was untouchable. The guy was just lights out. But in his last 6 outings, he's 0-1 with an ERA of 11.70. Deals low to Glaus for ball number 4. The crowd boos. That was to be expected. I don't think Pizarro was pitching around him there. I think Pizarro just didn't have his command together in that at-bat. Michael Napoli will now come to the plate. Melvin had gone 13 games without allowing an earned run. He has allowed 13 earned runs in his last 6. Opponents have hit .383 off him in that time. Just a night and day situation. Michael Napoli with an RBI single and 2 strikeouts. Pitch outside and high, 1 ball and no strikes. Get an update for you on the Major League scoreboard. See if any of the earlier games that were in progress have been completed since last time we checked. The 1-0 on the inside corner, good location there for Melvin. And the count now 1-1. Now Tampa Bay and Seattle are tied up at 5, a comeback for the Mariners as they scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Scott Atchison is on the hill right now for the Mariners, and Bucky Jacobson cracked home run number 8. Pizarro set, Glaus on first, 2-step lead, 1-1 swung on and missed. The count 1-2. The Mariners are batting in the bottom of the 8th, a runner on second and 2 outs. San Diego wound up shutting out the Mets 4-0. The Dodgers were up big earlier. Here's the 1-2 on the way. Swung on and a ground ball to Michael Garcia Park. Could be 2. Goes to Gonzalez for 1. And they turn the twin killer. 6-4-3 double play. Eliminates both Glaus and Napoli. And that'll clear the base pass for Ryan Budde. First double play of the night turned by the 66ers. Overall this year, the Inland Empire defense has turned 92 ground-out double plays. Now the Dodgers wound up dropping the ball game 6-3 to the Expos. Ryan Budde now at the plate, a right-handed hitter. Here's the offering from Pizarro. It's low, down near the dirt, 1-0. In the middle of the 7th inning, Anaheim leading Kansas City 16-6. The 1-0 coming. Inside, 2-0. Brendan Donnelly on the hill now for the Angels. Garrett Anderson had a home run for Anaheim, his 9th. Anaheim put up a couple of big innings in that one. The 2-0 to Budde. Down low, 3 balls and no strikes. The Angels with a 5-run 3rd and a 6-run 4th. Ryan Budde, the right-handed hitting catcher, swings that bat back and forth. Looks like it's going to fly right out of his hands. Waving it like a toothpick. The 3-0 inside for ball number 4. So Pizarro walks his second batter of the inning. David Gates will now come to the plate. Gregory Slee and looks like Jesus Guzman out there come out to talk to Pizarro. The 66er bullpen as a whole, over the last 11 games, an ERA of 6.69. As Pizarro has fallen, so has the Sixers pen because they were magnificent before this latest string. Not just good, not just suitable, but magnificent. Here's a pitch to David Gates, swung on and missed, 0-1. And that 6.69 ERA over the last 11 would be even higher if not for a stint by Bobby Livingston, as he piggybacked Rhett Johnson. That was on fight night in the high desert. Bobby went 5 innings and only allowed 1 earned run in that one. So it would be even higher if not for that. Of course, Livingston regularly a starter. The 0-1 on its way. Take it inside. Count even at 1-1. Another lefty getting loose for the 66ers. That is one Mr. Cesar Jimenez in the pen. Phil Wilson looks about cooked in the Rancho pen. In the on-deck circle out of Pavkovich. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. 9-4 lead for the Sixers. The 1-1 coming. Missed inside again. 2 balls and 1 strike. Melvin last appeared Sunday at Modesto. Pitched 1 inning and gave up 3 runs, 2 of them earned on 6 hits. 2-1. Swung on, a fly ball down the right field line. Heading into the corner is Arroyo, and he runs out of room. That kicks out near E Street. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Get you caught up on the Cal League scoreboard as well here in a moment. In the top of the 9th inning, Lake Elsinore leading the high desert 5-2. So that doesn't help the 66ers cause. Other than it may be Lake Elsinore can catch Rancho and sneak in as a second wild card team. 2-2 swung on and bounced foul down the third base line. I don't know what kind of response. Maybe I'll ask some of the players next time I talk to them. I don't know what kind of response I would get, but I would have to imagine as the 66er players, if given their choice, would rather face Lake Elsinore than Rancho Cucamonga. Simply based on how tightly or loosely they've played each other this year. How quickly Lake Elsinore has fallen. Maybe some of the players wouldn't like to admit it. 2-2 swung on and missed, held on to by Slee on a foul tip. Quakes done here in the 8th. Melvin Pizarro walks 2, but also walks away unscathed. 1 runner left on base, and we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. 9-4 Sixers.
Toyota of Redlands is pleased to once again be partnering with the California League champion 66ers. Located at 1139 West Redlands Boulevard, Toyota of Redlands has a line of new 2004 Toyota cars and trucks, as well as certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Toyota of Redlands is part of the local community just like you and believes in personal relationships, and they're open 7 days a week. More information is at 793-0300 or on the web at toyotaofredlands.com.
A recent survey showed more people in San Bernardino County prefer the SBC Smart Yellow Pages. For shopping information, SBC Smart Yellow Pages is the most used Yellow Pages around. The SBC Smart Yellow Pages.
I'm Barbara Bogain. Weekends are for having fun, but they're also for driving the kids to the birthday party, washing the car, contemplating cleaning the garage, picking up the kids from the birthday party. Let's see your beloved, it's his turn to clean the garage. I need a nap. But while you're doing your errands, Public Radio Weekend can ride along with you with news, stories, art, all for your weekend frame of mind. Join me every Saturday for Public Radio Weekend. Saturdays at noon on KVCR, San Bernardino, Riverside.
Now we've got some changes here for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. The new pitcher will be the tall, lanky right-hander Phil Wilson. An entire new battery here for the Quakes. Coming in to catch will be Jared Abruzzo, taking the place of Ryan Budde. So Hector Estacio, as we totaled up here, wound up going 1 2/3 innings. No runs. He gave up 2 hits, no walks, and he struck out 2. So Wilson will take his place here in the 8th. He'll face the top of the 66er order. Gary Harris, Juan Gonzalez, and then Jesus Guzman. Meanwhile, Ryan Budde will finish up his night. 0 for 2 at the plate, a ground out, a walk, 2 walks actually, and a strikeout, and he scored once. Gary Harris, the first one to face Wilson here. Harris already has 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Phil Wilson was the starter for the Quakes for much of the season. Bobby Meacham finally gave up on him. First pitch into Harris. Fly ball out into right center field, but Duncan underneath about 15 steps in front of the track. And he'll squeeze it for the out. One pitch, one out for Juan Gonzalez. Wilson started 16 games this year. This will be his 19th relief appearance. He is 3-9 with an ERA of 6.92. 70 strikeouts, 56 walks in 104 innings. Right now in the top of the 8th inning, Lancaster shutting out San Jose 5-0. Modesto leading Stockton in the 9th, 6-2. Pitch into Gonzalez, grounded foul past first base, 0-1. Finally, Bakersfield doubling up Visalia 4-2 in the 6th. Gonzalez tonight, 1 for 4. He had an RBI single in his last at-bat that came in the 6th. The 0-1 on its way from Wilson. Swung on, lifted softly into short center field. Coming on is Nunez, and he won't get to it. Second hit in a row for Juan Gonzalez. Boy, he just finds a way. Jesus Guzman, the next one coming up. Jesus with 2 hits in his last 2 at-bats, a double and a single. Juan Gonzalez now with 18 hits in his last 12 games. Wilson deals, ball swung on, grounded toward Adam Pafkovich, fields cleanly this time, goes to Weed for 1, across it first for the double play. The Quakes go around the horn to finish off the Sixers here in the 8th, 5-4-3. We will go to the 9th inning. It is 9-4, 66ers.
Get home, safe. Tonight is the day to driver is my place. As the tails are the first. The designated driver is right for every season. When you're out to do, we celebrate. Make sure a DD is doing the tailgate. When you're out to do, so celebrate. Make sure a DD.
We all make a difference. Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. The good folks at Center Chevrolet have one simple philosophy: to exceed expectations in every area as it pertains to their customers' needs. Center Chevrolet is family-owned and operated. This allows them to offer you their personal guarantee that your experience will be pleasant and you'll be greeted by a courteous and knowledgeable staff member. Center Chevrolet, serving the Inland Empire for over 50 years, is located at 1355 South East Street and on the web at centerchevrolet.com. Chevy, an American revolution.
Hey, this is Red Green from the Red Green Show, and you're not going to believe this, but my show is now running on KVCR out of San Bernardino. So check it out. It's a little bit different. We've been doing it for quite a while. We're probably in our 14th year. We had 2 days off for good behavior up here in Canada, and it's not nearly as bad as it used to be. You might enjoy it, and if you do, give them a call at KVCR and let them know. I'll shock them.
Saturday nights at 11 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on KVCR TV, Channel 24.
The 66ers with a chance to put to their end a miserable week in which they lost 5 in a row. They lead 9-4 as we go to the top of the 9th inning, facing off against the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Rancho will send to the plate the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Adam Pafkovich, B.J. Weed, and Erick Aybar. And the 66ers will counter with lefty Cesar Jimenez, who enters the ball game here. A non-save situation. Melvin Pizarro threw 1 inning. No runs, no hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Adam Pafkovich tonight 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. Cesar taking his time, climbing onto the hill here. Jimenez this year for the Sixers, 6-6 with 4 saves. Here's the windup in the pitch. Down low, 1-0. Cesar working his 39th game, his 37th out of the pen. He was called into starting duty twice this year. He's logged a total of 77 in the 3rd innings. High pop-up in the infield toward the left side of the mound. Jesus Guzman calling off the convoy, and he'll handle it himself in the air. Baskovich set down on 2 pitches. And here comes B.J. Weed. Weed tonight, only one official at bat. He struck out in the 6th. He had a walk and a run scored in the 3rd and a sac fly RBI in the 4th. Erick Aybar waiting in the on-deck circle. 66ers can take one step closer to the playoffs with another 2 outs here. Everybody playing straight away defensively. Cesar looking in. Here's a windup in the pitch. Missed outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Cesar had his left arm at his side. Right glove tucked into the chest. The 1-0 swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jimenez last appeared. It was at Modesto on Saturday, and he wound up taking the loss. The 1-1 coming in, swung on and missed. A fastball up around the letters, 1-2. Cesar pitched 2 in the 3rd innings. Gave up an unearned run, the winning run coming in the 11th inning on a pass ball by Brian Lenz. The 66er pen up until that point had been masterful that night. The 1-2 inside, count even. Next pitch foul back to the screen. We'll do it again. In Cesar's last 19 games, he has gone 4-1. That 1 loss coming on the pass ball, 3 saves, and an ERA under 2. Not bad whatsoever. 2-2 coming. Swung on and hit toward the Quake dugout. So we'll do it again. The 9 runs will be the most scored since last Wednesday for the 66ers when they scored 13 against Bakersfield in the victory. Sure, it'll be good for these guys to come out of the dugout at the end of the game for the traditional handshake. It's been a little while. Cesar shakes off one sign from Slee, now delivers a 2-2. Hit into the air into shallow right field, but Carlos Arroyo with a beat on it. He makes a catch, 2nd out. Rancho scored 2 apiece in the 3rd and the 4th. Sixers came back with 6 runs in the bottom of the 5th. 3 in the 6th inning. Nobody scored since. Erick Aybar, the last hope for the Quakes here. One of the runs tonight for the 66ers is unearned, but no matter. Aybar 0 for 4 tonight. He hasn't gotten the ball out of the infield. First pitch up high, 1-0. Aybar with 4 groundouts. One of them scored a run. The 1-0 from Cesar. Swung on and hit through the left side out of the reach of Michael Garcia Parra. So Erick Aybar collects his first hit of the night. You know, that is the first hit for Rancho since the 5th inning. Carlos Duncan led off the 5th with a single, and that was it up until now. That'll bring up now Felix Nunez, who came in for Reggie Willits to play the field in the bottom of the 7th inning. Nunez with an open stance. Here's a pitch from Jimenez. It's in there for a called strike, 0-1. Nunez is pretty new to this Quakes roster. This is the first time the 66ers have seen him this year in this series. They've not seen him before now. He's played at 3 different levels this year so far. The 0-1 swung on and missed, 0-2. He's been at Cedar Rapids, Provo, and now Rancho. Came to the Quakes about 2-3 weeks ago. Made his debut on August the 7th. Came in as a pinch runner last night. Jimenez looking at first. Nobody holding Aybar on there. The 0-2 on the way. Inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Not the largest crowd here tonight in San Bernardino, but they've certainly got their money's worth. Saw a major leaguer. Saw a good effort from the 66ers. It's not done yet, though. The 1-2. That should be done now. Bouncing ball to Juan Gonzalez at second. He'll throw over to first. The 66ers have taken this ball game tonight by a final score of 9-4 for the first time in a week. It is good to be a 66er fan. 66ers have broken the 5-game losing streak, defeating Rancho tonight 9-4, and wind up salvaging a series split here in this mini 2-game set. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Could your life use some shaking up? Well, Dairy Queen is here to make your sweet tooth sing with the delicious brownie earthquake treat from DQ. It's a rich, moist Oreo fudge brownie mixed with creamy vanilla soft serve and Oreo cookie crumbles, all covered in hot fudge and marshmallow topping. This is one treat that'll make you tremble with anticipation. The brownie earthquake from Dairy Queen, only at participating DQ restaurants. DQ something different. Oreo is a registered trademark of KF Holdings Incorporated.
Are you serious about your career? ITT Technical Institute in San Bernardino offers technology and business education for today's workplace with associate and bachelor's degrees in 4 schools of study. ITT Tech has many different class schedules with hands-on learning and applied knowledge. Financial aid is also available for those who qualify. ITT Tech in San Bernardino is located on Briar Drive. More information on your new career is at 800-888-3801. ITT Tech and education for the future.
At Loma Linda University Children's Hospital, they're totally committed to providing your child with the most advanced care available. They're the only children's hospital in the Inland Empire. From cuts and broken bones to cardiac care and transplants, the medical staff at Loma Linda University Children's Hospital attends to each child with love, concern, and personal attention. More information is at 800-825-KIDS. Loma Linda University Children's Hospital.
Back here at Arrowhead Credit Union Park tonight, the 66ers managed to split the series with the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes and snap a 5-game losing streak in the process. The final score here tonight, 9-4. Totals for you for the 66ers, 9 runs on 14 hits, 1 error. They leave 6 men on base. Rancho Cucamonga, 4 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors. They stranded 7. Time of the game, 2 hours and 45 minutes, and the attendance tonight out here, 2,537. The winning pitcher is Jon Huber in relief of Rhett Johnson. He improves his mark to 11-6 combined between the Sixers and the Storm this year. The loss is tagged to Daniel Davidson. He falls to 11-7. Well, we invite you to stay with us for tonight's post-game show. We'll have highlights in the out-of-town scoreboard coming up. Stay with us, folks.
You've been listening to Inland Empire 66ers baseball on KVCR. Today's game has been made possible by Loma Linda University Children's Hospital, the only children's hospital in the Inland Empire. By Toyota of Redlands on West Redlands Boulevard and on the web at toyotaofredlands.com. By Omnitrans, be smart, be safe. By Community Hospital of San Bernardino. And by Center Chevrolet, family-owned and operated in San Bernardino. Don't go away. The 66ers postgame report is coming right up.
Quitting smoking isn't easy. It takes the average smoker several attempts to be successful. Quitting with the right support can make all the difference. With the support of products like Nicorette Gum, Nicoderm CQ Patch, and Commit Lozenge, you have a better chance of success. Nicorette, Nicoderm CQ, and Commit are safe, effective, and FDA approved to help you fight cravings, irritability, and restlessness while you quit. They've helped millions of Americans quit. You can too. Use as directed. Follow dosing schedule. Individual results may vary. Support program improves chances of success.
Omnitrans is working hard to provide the public with a level of service that's bigger and better. A listing of their system-wide improvements is in your bus book if you're a current Omnitrans rider or on their website. Omnitrans operates the nation's first gasoline-electric hybrid buses and over 100 buses powered by clean natural gas 7 days a week. Omnitrans will get you to work, school, or wherever life takes you with improved routes and better service. More information is at 800-966-6428 or on the web at omnitrans.org. Be smart, be safe, Omnitrans. A recent survey showed more people in San Bernardino County prefer the SBC Smart Yellow Pages. For shopping information, SBC Smart Yellow Pages is the most used Yellow Pages around. The SBC Smart Yellow Pages.
It's time for the 66ers postgame report on KBCR, featuring interviews, game highlights, and a complete rundown of the scoreboard. Now let's head back out to the ballpark.
Back here live at Arrowhead Credit Union Park. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, folks. The final score here from San Bernardino, the 66ers defeat the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes by a final of 9-4. It wasn't looking good early for the 66ers. Rancho jumped on the board first in the third inning of play. It was Reggie Willits who got aboard an RBI single that brought in B.J. Weed, who had walked, stolen second base, and advanced to third. On a ground out from Erick Aybar, the Quakes led 1-0 at that point, and then Mike Napoli in that same inning hit a ball toward the right side of the infield. Willits came in to score. Matt Hagan, fortunately for him, and it was a heads-up play, had no chance of getting Napoli at first. So instead, he turned his attention to Carlos Duncan, who was at second base. He made it to third and rounded the base, thinking that Hagan was going to flip to the pitcher, Rhett Johnson. Instead, Hagan hung on to the ball. They got Duncan caught up between third and home, and they wound up with the tag at home to eliminate the Quakes from the inning. But Rancho still put 2 on the board. They led 2-0 after 3. They got another 2 runs in the fourth inning. Ryan Budde with a leadoff walk off of Rhett Johnson. David Gates in with a single to center field. Adam Pathwitz walked, and then B.J. Weed with a sacrifice fly RBI to center field. That brought in Budde. Erick Aybar followed up with a 6-3 ground out that played at David Gates. So it was 4-0 at that point. The 66ers, after failing to score in the top of the fourth inning, had gone 30 innings, only scoring 1 run. It would all change in the fifth, and dramatically so. The 66ers led off that inning with Carlos Arroyo. He singled to left field. Matt Hagan then would come to the plate for Inland Empire, a runner on second base, and nobody out.
The 2-1 swung on, hit into the left center field gap, in there for a base hit. Heading to third is Arroyo. Willits with a sliding cutoff. It got by him. Gates backs it up. Here comes Arroyo to the plate. No throw, and the 66ers break this shutout and make it a 4-1 ball game.
Now, at that point for the 66ers, yeah, it was okay. It broke up the shutout. But the 66ers have left an awful lot of men on base lately. It looked like the Sixers were going to have a bunch of big innings in Modesto, and they never materialized. So you don't really get your hopes up too much. It's a 4-1 ball game at that point. Matt Hagan on second base, nobody out in the inning, and up to the plate steps Matt Rosenstead.
The 3-1 coming. Swung on, hit into the right field corner, going deep. It's going to get to the wall. Hagan will score easily. Rogelstead headed for second. Duncan digs it out. Rogelstead gunning for third. There will be no throw. Now there's one, and it's late. Pathwitz gets it beside the bag. Sixers now trail 4-2.
Okay, now the Sixers were cooking. 4-2 ball game. Rogelstead on third base. Still nobody out in the inning. Michael Garcia-Parra, who already had a hit in the ball game to finally get him off a 1-for-23 snide, came up to the plate for Inland Empire this time around again.
Davidson set in the 1-1. Swung on, short fly ball into right center. It's going to fall in there. Coming across is Rogelstead. It got underneath Willits. Now going to second is Garcia-Parra. Okie in there. That'll be a single and an error. The 66ers now down 4-3.
Slowly but surely, the 66ers got back into the ball game. Gregory Slee, making his first start tonight for Inland Empire in place of Brian Lentz, took a walk. Gary Harrison with a 2-3 ground out put runners on second and third with 1 out. Juan Gonzalez came up to the plate and struck out swinging. So that left it up to Jesus Guzman. He had 2 runners in scoring position, 2 outs in the inning. Sixers down 4-3. Here's what happened.
The 1-1 hit on the fly out in the center. Willits going back, still going back. It's going to be in there for extra bases. Gar scores. Coming home is Slee. An RBI double for Guzman. He plates 2, and the 66ers have the lead.
And I think everybody that's followed the Sixers throughout the course of the season, and especially over the last week, kind of turned at each other to that point and kind of said, where did this come from? 66ers wind up getting 6 runs in the inning. John Nelson followed up that Guzman double with a 2-bagger of his own to bring in Jesus. Finally, Quakes decided to get a relief pitcher in there. They brought in James Carroll in place of Daniel Davidson. Carroll quickly got Carlos Arroyo to ground out 6-3 to end the inning, but the 66ers had a 6-4 lead after 5 innings of play. Quakes held scoreless in the top of the 6th, so Inland Empire comes to bat again. Matt Hagan led off with a double. Matt Rogelstead then walked. Michael Garcia-Parra reached on a fielder's choice. It was a line drive, a little humpback liner to Erick Aybar. He couldn't quite reach it, but knocked it down and forced out Hagan at third base. Gregory Slee then reached on an error from Erick Aybar in what may have been a double play. So the 66ers at that point had the bases loaded. Gary Harris has been terrific with the bases loaded this year, came in with a .429 average. It was no different this time around.
Coming in to score easily is Rogelstead. Garcia-Parra being waved around. Here's a throw from Duncan. It's cut off by Napoli. They will have Slee out at third base. That's the second out of the inning, but the Sixers scored 2 and lead it 8-4.
8-4 Sixers at that point. Juan Gonzalez would follow with an RBI single. That brought home Gary Harris. Jesus Guzman then with a single after that. John Nelson struck out to end the inning. Sixers get 3 runs in the 6th, 2 of them earned. That gave them at that point a 9-4 lead, and that would stand up the bullpen tonight for the 66ers. Terrific. They did not allow an earned run. Jon Huber, Melvin Pizarro, and Cesar Jimenez combined for 5 innings in relief of Rhett Johnson. They give up just 2 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Huber picks up the win. He moves his mark to 11-6. Again, the final score here, 9-4 Inland Empire. We'll be back to take a look around the out-of-town scoreboard right after this.
As California continues to grow, so does the important underground infrastructure. Just about anywhere you dig, there could be an underground facility lying in wait. How do you avoid hitting them? The easy way, the legal way, is Dig Alert. It's the one-call notification center that supports all of Southern California. It's a simple process to help and avoid the costly errors of cutting fiber optic cables to the hazard of damaging power lines or gas pipes. For more information before you dig, 1-800-227-2600.
We're Click and Clack the Tapper Brothers. Our show is based on 2 guiding principles.
There are no stupid questions here at Car Talk, just stupid answers. And for every problem, there must be a solution. Some manufacturers have a 10-year rust through. It can't be superficial rust. So if it isn't rusted through, you got to get out there
make a hole
under the cover of darkness and drill holes.
Join us for Car Talk.
Tune in Saturday morning at 9 and Sunday morning at 11 on KVCR, San Bernardino, Riverside.
Mike Wagenheim back with you at Arrowhead Credit Union Park. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, what's going on around the Bigs tonight. Over in the American League, Cleveland with a come-from-behind victory. They scored 2 in the bottom of the 8th inning and defeated the Yankees today 4-3. At one point in that ball game, a squirrel got loose on the field and started chasing a few of the Yankees around the infield and the outfield. Eventually, somehow, someway, they got it off the field. The Indians prevailed today 4-3. Detroit scored 1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. They would need it because the White Sox scored 3 in the 9th. But the Tigers hold on for a 5-4 victory over the White Sox. Boston more than doubled up Toronto. The final score up north today, 11-5. A combined 29 hits, and Kurt Schilling picked up win number 16 in that one. David Ortiz had 2 home runs, numbers 32 and 33 for him. Minnesota defeated Texas 8-5. Those teams combined for 30 hits in that one, 17 of those belonging to the Minnesota Twins. A game still in progress in the top of the 8th inning, but this one was done a long time ago. In a nice little preseason football game, the Angels lead the Royals 21-6. It's only, a 2-possession ball game? Royals can get back in it, no problem at all. The Angels have hit 3 home runs in that one, Anderson, Molina, and Devaney. Over in the National League tonight, Pittsburgh with a 2-1 squeaker over Arizona. Fogg the winner, Johnson the loser, Mesa the save. Home runs for Wilson and Bay. Final score in 10 innings, the Giants defeated the Marlins tonight 6-5. Elsewhere, it was St. Louis scoring in the top of the 9th inning and going on to defeat the Reds 6-5. San Diego shut out the Mets tonight 4-0. Lawrence the winner, Leiter the loser. That's 4 straight losses now for the New York Mets. The Dodgers dropped one to the Expos tonight 6-4. Jose Lima surrendered 4 gopher balls in that one. Atlanta all over Colorado. Final score there 8-1. See who started tonight. Actually, Jeff Francis started for the Rockies tonight. He got called up and took the loss. He is now at 0-1. That was a much-anticipated debut tonight for Jeff Francis. Chipper Jones had 2 home runs in the ball game for the Braves. Numbers 23 and 24 for him. Eli Morera went deep as well. That's his 8th of the year. Milwaukee playing the Cubs tonight, and it's a final. The Cubs defeated the Brewers 4-2. LaTroy Hawkins picked up the win in relief as Chicago scored 2 in the bottom of the 9th inning on the Corey Patterson home run. That's number 18 on the year for him. Moises Alou went yard as well. He's got 32 on the season. Finally, from the National League, the Astros defeated the Phillies 7-4. Houston winds up sweeping the season series of Philadelphia. That's the first time the Astros have ever done that to the Phillies. Around the California League tonight, we'll get to the games that don't matter first, get them out of the way. In the top of the 7th inning, Bakersfield doubling up by Sally at 4-2, and Modesto defeated Stockton tonight 6-4. That game played at Billy Hebert Field in Stockton. Lancaster, meanwhile, all over San Jose, a final score now. The Jethawks defeated the Giants 8-0. Jesus Silva was the winner. He's now at 11-5. Greg Brocious took the loss. He's at 2-3 now. Doc Brooks and Phil Atlas had home runs for the Jethawks. Again, 8-0 Lancaster. So the Jethawks remain 4.5 games in front of the 66ers in the second half standings. And the game that probably matters the most to 66er fans, Lake Elsinore, it's a final score in High Desert. The Storm over the Mavericks tonight, 6-2. So what does that mean for the 66ers? Well, they couple their win over the Quakes tonight with the Storm's win. Here's how it looks. The magic number for the 66ers to get into the playoffs and eliminate the Storm is now at 4. Any combination of 66er wins or Storm losses for the rest of the year that adds up to 4 will get the 66ers in the playoffs. Each team, 66ers, Quakes, and Storm, have 11 games left. So it's looking good for the 66ers. Nothing is guaranteed, though. Got to wait it out. Inland Empire with a 9-4 win tonight over Rancho Cucamonga. The Sixers will have the day off tomorrow. Then San Jose, the Giants, will roll into town for a 3-game set beginning on Friday. 7-11 start time on Friday. You can catch it right here on KBCR beginning at 7 o'clock. Will also be available on the Internet at sportsjuice.com. Juan Sandoval gets the ball for the 66ers. The Giants starter as of game time tonight was unannounced for Friday. So we'll talk to you again on Friday night. Again, thanks for joining us here tonight. For Joe Romano back in the studio and Mike Sager coming back sometime soon. The 66ers tonight defeat the Quakes by a final of 9-4. Good night.
That'll do it for this edition of the 66ers postgame report on KBCR. We sure hope you can join us again for all of the excitement of California League baseball with your defending league champs, the Inland Empire 66ers.